people will start jumping on, hopefully. If not, we'll just start chatting. We'll just jump in. Okay, we're live.
Awesome.
It'll take a minute anyway, so.
Gotcha.
How's your day been?
It's been actually pretty good, actually. I had today off. Excuse me. So I pretty much just hung out at the house. Actually, I stayed up pretty late last night. I was in a space with a bunch of people, um, doing all kinds of it's like improv. There's these spaces you can find of people doing like improv and like just randomly just having fun and trolling people. It's hilarious. But yeah, I
That's
slept most of the
fun.
day. I'm sorry.
That's fun. Like real improv, like acting improv and stuff.
Yeah, I swear. It's pretty cool. You can find a couple of them, and we just have fun. And that's why I love spaces on Twitter. You can just meet anybody, talk to anybody, actually speaking with them. Um, I don't know if you do spaces very often, but I'm always in spaces every day, pretty much, just talking to all my Twitter friends, talking about serious stuff, what's going on in our lives. It's pretty cool.
That is fun. I've done a couple and had a lot of fun. I have a problem with like I feel like I'm on the phone. Whenever I'm
Right.
on the phone, I walk around. Like I just have to
I
walk
do
around.
too. Like I do too. Like if I'm on the phone or if I'm in a space, I'm just walking around the house. It's just me around here.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Then like but Mr. Forrest was like, what are you doing? Because I'm like, I have the earphones on, but I'm still like talking, So,
Right. Um, when I was with my ex when she was living here still, um, whenever I'd get on a phone or I'm on a space like that or something, she'd hear me talk and she's like, "Sit down. You're giving me anxiety because I'm always walking around the house."
why do we do that? Some of us we're like I literally cannot talk on the phone and just sit. Like even
Right.
sometimes
Right.
podcasting, I'm like, I wish I could like stand up and walk around a little bit and
Yeah.
like, but
I don't know. I just for me, I guess I'm just getting excited. I get to talk to people, have fun
nah,
talking to them.
it is fun. The spaces are fun. I don't know if you want to like introduce yourself because
Oh,
I barely even know you either. So like we just gotta get
right.
to know
Right.
each other. So go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. I'm Blaze. I've actually been on Twitter since for 10 years now, but like I really didn't start using it until like a couple of years, like a year and a half ago and whatnot. Um, I wasn't always the Blaze Lolbert. I had like another thing, identity I tried to have. I've sort of like found myself this year, what I want to be, who I am on Twitter, and also like my views on things have kind of morphed into what they are now. Who I am on Twitter, I think has been pretty fun. I love Twitter. It's incredible.
It's so fun. Were you always like liberty minded or did you find your
Um,
way in there
I
this
was my both sides of my family are pretty right wing Republican. Some are fairly moderate and whatnot, and I've always been kind of more right leaning. I actually when I grew up, I wanted to be a cop as a kid.
Aw.
I wanted to be a cop. I went to Indiana State. I'm from Indiana originally. I went to Indiana State for a couple of years before I dropped out, realizing I didn't want to do this anymore. Um, I went to criminology, psychology, and that's what I wanted to be initially. And but as I've gotten older and more, I just don't like the government. I don't like taxes. Don't like being told what to do. I just want freedom. I want everybody to have their own freedom to do whatever the heck they want and everything. And that's pretty much. And then I really started getting into it this past year, and I've kind of found out, who I am, what I am, and my views politically and things like that.
Yeah, this last 2 years really cinched things for some of
Oh
us.
my gosh, I was like having the um, things were like seemingly on the up for me, like 2019 into early 2020. You know, things were great. Had my kid, had my fiance, and good job. And then nope, 2 years. Boop. It's
It's ruined a lot. I feel like that too. Going into 2020, like my life was great. Everything was like things were like falling into place. My life has been pretty good for the last 10 years, anyways. But it's like everything was getting better, and then just like crash and burn for sure.
it's been just I think 2020. I think 2020 is arguably been worse, at least for me, than what 2020 was, or the second half of 2020.
Yeah. The I would say the very beginning was terrible for me, and then actually like the last 6 months have been bad. But now I'm like screw it. At this point, if they're just gonna keep being stupid, I'm like I'm
Mm-hmm.
done with it. Like I gotta live my life at this point as much as I can, as much as I'm allowed to. So
Right.
you know, whatever. Um, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Beer's already
I'm
getting to me.
I'm pretty elevated right now myself. So
I saw your post. You're like, I'm happy. I'm high.
oh, I don't know if you want to talk about this or not, but well, I guess half Twitter. I have my Twitter friends now. I broke up with my ex, and then now recently, well, 2 months ago, and then recently found this incredible woman, and then I'm like, like head over heels right now and shit.
Oh, good. And is the ex your baby mama?
Yes, we
Okay.
had 2 kids together.
Okay, you got 2 kids. Dang, look at you.
Yeah, every now and then I'll post them to Twitter every now and then. My youngest is 3 months old now. He's absolutely adorable. He's super chubby. Always talking. He's never not talking either.
That's cute.
Always talking.
That's cute. Oh, gotta love it. Yeah, I love it. Someone posted love is in the air. You got love in the air. And that's his and this guy's stoner, so he's elevated as hell too. Post stoner dragon. Oh shit. So should we talk about let's see. We could talk about Twitter drama. No, just kidding. I don't like talking
Oh
about
gosh, honestly, I stay out of Twitter drama if I can. If I'm not causing it by accident or I'm not trolling something, I'm out of it. I try not to pick sides. The problem with me is how my Twitter journey has taken me. I've been on both sides of a lot of the big Twitter drama, or known both sides. And so I'm kind of like in the middle, and I'm like, oh, my friends hate each other.
You're the kind of person, I feel like I'm like this. Like you can probably just like get along with anybody. If
absolutely.
Like, yeah, that's how I am. And so I never like people would start these group chats and start doing stuff. And it was like, no. And then I'm like, I'm just out here being crazy, being myself. So I'm just going to focus on that for now. So all good. It is funny. It was a wild Christmas, man. Got doxing. I lost my profile. And
oh yeah, I was so upset about that.
Me too. I just hit 18,000 and then
I know. This is my original, and I'm surprised. I've said terrible, horrible things on Twitter that should have gotten me suspended or banned or whatever. Oh, I got a 12-hour. Here, let me talk about that in a second.
okay.
Whatever, and no, I finally got my first 12-hour a couple days ago, but I repealed it and won. I asked. Somebody asked on Twitter, I'll say yes to any question you ask me today. And so I just said something stupid, something mundane. There weren't even curse words in it. And they hit me with a 12-hour.
Wasn't it like about sex or something?
Yeah, exactly. It said, would you like to sex me? And he said yes. And I got reported for abuse and harassment. Like, what?
I don't get it. I don't get the algorithms anymore. I've had a 12-hour before, and I've had a couple months, I guess. Well, no, it was a while ago. I had a different profile picture that like this much of it was from the back and like that much of an ass crack showed, and I think someone reported it, but at that time they said just change it, and I was like, okay, whatever. But so I did, and this one they're not even giving me the option, and it's just silly. And I meant to put the censored one up anyways. That's like what makes me most mad. Oh, someone's asking me what I'm drinking. Post. I know it's not Coronas. I'm out of Coronas. I gotta go tomorrow. It's Juicy East, some sort of IPA, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Local brewery.
No, it's from. Oh no, yeah, it is. It is. It's from Denver. Crooked Stab. Never heard of them. We got all sorts of breweries out here. Oh, someone said they got banned for telling Amber Heard to kill herself. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Those kind of comments don't go over good. So.
Right. Yeah. Especially when they're aimed at like a verified account or a big celebrity or something.
Yeah,
they don't.
Go ahead.
I was saying they don't let those go by.
No, those are the protected class. Although it is fun to bully
Exactly.
the politicians as much as we can.
Mhm.
Like that's why people like that's why Twitter's so much more fun than Facebook because it's like
It is.
just
Like I have a
weird
question
people.
about you when it comes to like Twitter and like your family and friends who aren't on Twitter. Do they all? Because all my family and friends, because nobody in my family is on Twitter. I'm the only one, and they're all like, "Ew, Twitter. What is Twitter? Nobody's on Twitter." And it's like there's lots of people on Twitter I talk to.
Cool people are on Twitter. But yeah, none of my family, like very few people I know in real life. But since 2020 happened, I've met a ton of people off of Twitter through Liberty and just through like Colorado Twitter people. So
Right.
I know them. But yeah, none of my family. I did find out on Christmas one of my nephew on the other side is on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh shit, what's your handle? I need to block that." But whatever,
Right.
that profile's gone now, anyway. So
Exactly.
I don't have to worry. Oh, someone else
So
said they just got over a 7-day ban for posting a white women. Oh, the white women at
extinction
station.
button. Yeah, I can see that one. So how was your Christmas? Aside from being banned, of course. How was your Christmas overall with family?
Christmas was great. We were able to do one Christmas on New Year's Eve and one Christmas on Christmas. So I didn't have to drive because I hate that. So yeah, it was great. Relaxing. Ate a ton of food. All my families are like cool about COVID and everything. No one's weird about
Same.
that. They've all been like it's brought us a lot closer together, which is funny because like I'm obviously like a little different. And so with my family, like when I moved out when I was really young, because I like hated all the rules and stuff, and like we all kind of hated each other for a while on my side, but then they
That's
kind
part
of
of how mine was.
yeah, and then they like realized over time, like I'm fine. It's just I'm just not gonna live exactly like you, and I'm not gonna tell you how to live. And then with this COVID, they're like they love me because I'll say my mind about it. And my sister's been like she almost lost her job over mask mandates and not wear. I'm like you guys are great, like good job guys. So
Right. Can you hear
feel
that rain?
good.
It's raining pretty hard here right now.
I can hear it right now when you
Okay.
had that whatever turned up.
Right
It's
when we're being
raining.
quiet.
It's
Yeah, it's
raining.
raining here. It's what does the weather say? It's been mid upper 60s since before Christmas here in Tennessee.
It's rain. I guess rain's probably pretty normal there that time of
Yeah.
year, huh? We
Oh,
haven't had snow here,
it's
so
about to get rough here.
like hurricane. You getting a hurricane out there?
I don't know. I didn't realize it's gonna be. I knew it was gonna be raining this week. I didn't realize it was gonna be this heavy tonight, or at least at this point in night. I think we are. So if I get disconnected, that's why.
Okay, well we know. Yeah,
Normally it doesn't go. Normally it doesn't go out, but it's just in case, you know.
just in case. Yeah, it's been super warm in Colorado too. Obviously, the mountains were getting a little bit more because Colorado is very like the mountains and then like the flatland, and
Yeah,
Denver's and like right. And so like we haven't gotten any snow
I
down
know
here.
Denver's high up, but is it still pretty flat?
Yeah, so Denver's like I mean it's hilly. I mean, yeah, it's a mile up, 5280, but it's like the beginning of the plains. So the plains kind of
Okay,
like come and then it's like mountains, and we're right at Denver's right
okay,
at the base of the mountains.
okay.
So
So like the plane starts at kind of like at Denver, but it gradually slopes down the further east it goes. That's pretty
exactly.
interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, we might get snow. Oh, I guess we might get snow out. Oh, in Greeley, Stoner. Maybe we'll get some down here. I did hear light snow. Maybe. Are you doing it? How was your Christmas with the
Oh,
kids?
it
It's
was
more fun with kids. So
yes. We of course me and my ex are separated, so I have him half the time. She has him half the time, pretty much. And
hey, hey.
uh, yeah, she was off. Her family did their stuff Christmas Eve. I did my stuff with my family Christmas Day. I just went up to see my mom. My sister was there, grandpa, stepdad, everybody. It was pretty great. My son got lots of toys. I was able to get him some good toys and everything, and he just had fun with his cousins while he was there.
Well, good. And so your ex isn't living like too far away or anything. It's
No, she lives
convenient.
like 20 minutes away.
Okay, that's good. Makes it easy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess none of it's easy, but you do what you can in that situation.
It's a learning experience, but luckily she's pretty reasonable, and we're pretty what's the word, cordial with one another. We pretty much split amicably, and we're still friends. We still talk occasionally, just as friends. We just realize we're not good for each other.
No, it happens. And sometimes you have babies with them, and you just do the best
Mm-hmm.
you can at that point, and it's all
Yeah.
good.
How I feel about that is she may not be the one for me, but she came into my life for a reason to give me my boys.
Yeah, you did your the biological part. So, can I ask
Right.
how old you are?
I'll be 28 in March. So I'm
Oh,
27.
you're like a baby.
Well, how old are you?
I'm gonna be 38.
38. Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
realize you were that old. You look like
I'm
maybe
that
early
old.
30s.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm keeping it. It's because I didn't have kids. That's what I say. I am the kid. So
I'm the youngest of 4 in my family.
me too. I'm the youngest of 4 as well.
Yeah, they
It's
all popped
pretty
them
fun.
out in the span of like 4 years.
Okay,
Too.
you're all close together.
Yeah.
Nice.
My sister, who's a year and a half older than me, is the closest to our next brother up. They're like 11 months apart.
Was your mom like, you can't get pregnant when you're breastfeeding? And then also
I
that's what
don't know.
happened. That happened with my sisters are like 10 years older than me. I don't know what the heck happened. I just came along later, but
yeah, like
my mom was, but that's also like, so my sisters were married and having kids while I was still in high school, and that's why I was always like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, I don't know if I want to do that exactly, but I got to like watch it.
Right.
Joe, you're 33, 36. I'm the oldest in here right now. Then
I think PP Steve down there is older. I think he's like 50 or something. I know him on Twitter.
All right. Well, good. I'm glad everyone's hanging out. Hanging with us cool peeps on your second live stream. The StreamYard's pretty easy, isn't it?
I like StreamYard. Connect. I might start using it actually well, if I actually do my podcast, I obviously last 2 months.
You will.
It's been just so crazy and busy. I haven't had a chance to. So what I do is I use Discord. Discord's also pretty good. Chat rooms with the video, and I just have an OBS overlay of that, and then also with that, especially if I'm recording the stream, I can just pull up articles or things I want to show on the stream live.
Yeah, I wish I could figure out how to do that. I probably could.
It's pretty fun. It adds lots of flexibility, unless eventually get a producer to do it for you. Have Mr. Forest Mommy do that for you.
He's less technological than me. He's like not online. He's like, screw that all. I have to figure it out. I was so proud of myself how I figured it out. Like I bought StreamYard and like figured it out. And that's why I'm like, I might as well be using it now.
Okay, so you have to.
You don't have to buy it.
Okay.
But I did. Like you can get more.
You get like extra features and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's pretty cool.
I need to get on more platforms, especially since like they keep. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm sure they're going to catch me on Twitter because someone else had gotten banned on. I don't know if you followed Felix, but he was banned.
Felix got hit, and then they hit him again like a day or two later for evasion. But like some people didn't do that. Go
ahead.
You cut out there for a second.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, like, he started using. Although he's had a ton of alts over time too, so I don't know if maybe that's why they like caught it. But
I'm surprised Dennis is still going. You know Dennis' account?
Yeah, I know Dennis.
This is the longest he's been, and it's got easily the most attention. It's crazy.
He finally got to do me once I got.
He did you for like a couple hours, and then he did. I think he did Felix that morning, then you that afternoon, I think, or something like that same day.
He's so silly.
I love Dennis.
PP Steve's a young 50. Hey, my man's 54, so I love all age. Oh, Hex. Oh yeah, Hex. My friend Hex. I don't know if you've watched him.
I know Hex. I'm a mutual with him.
Yeah, so we've been trying to stream on Sundays, but he got his original one got taken off completely because he was arguing with a guy about the Tuskegee experiment. Like the other guy was like, no, and X is like, yeah, and then they banned him, and he's like, he's black. I think he can talk about this stuff and not get banned. Like it's so stupid.
Twitter's gotten like it's been slowly getting worse over time, but it kind of went down a little bit once the new CEO came along. So many people have been getting hit.
Yeah, I wonder if they just strengthened the algorithm. I'm like, how did they even see my picture? Honestly, like it was tiny.
Well, they have all that machine learning stuff. They can kind of scan pictures for what's sort of in it, if it's a nude image, or if or whatever. Um,
Right.
so I wouldn't doubt it. Or
Losers.
obviously somebody, a single person reports it, that puts it on their on like the board. Hey, look at this.
That's why I thought maybe someone involved in all that doxing stuff. Maybe that like
Oh,
got, but who knows? Who
oh God, I hate
knows?
doxing. Don't
Yeah,
get me started on
that's
doxing.
why I got off of Facebook, is because I got doxed on Facebook right
Right.
at the beginning of COVID. So I'm
Yep.
like,
I got my Facebook. It's just for friends and family and people I know in real life, and that's it.
yeah, that's the way to do it, because otherwise all these strangers get on there and then they act like they know you, and then they do
Hmm.
crazy weird shit. Like Facebook away for the feds compile. Yeah, I know I have enough, and I've been online because I'm older, and I was like, when the internet was coming out, my first job out of high school, I was a desk job, and I was I was all about the internet and the MySpace, and then Facebook. Once they started letting
I had a
non-college
MySpace.
educated people go to Facebook, I was all about that. No, I'm like, I wish I never got on any of it. I wish I was like not on any of it ever.
Right, off the grid. One of
Yeah,
those old folks that just is
soon
on
enough.
nothing. Reads the newspaper and reads books every day.
I'll be there soon enough. I don't know if I can read books, but I'm just kidding. But I've been
I read
online
books
for
a
a long
ton as a
time.
kid.
You did?
Yeah. Then I just sort of stopped over time, and now I'm just reading Twitter posts and articles online or researching something. Because if I find something I'm interested in, I'll just research it, watch videos on it, learn more about it.
Right. Yeah, it's easier just like kind of like scroll, find something that piques your interest, and then you can go off on it.
Yeah.
Stupid Twitter. I was reading a comment that made me mad when Hexes got. I was like, that is racism. First of all, if I was, everything would be racist. Oh, you're getting loud there. First, is it raining harder?
You hear it? I'm also
Yeah.
typing right now. I'm
Okay.
typing into the YouTube chat as well.
I'm gonna have another beer.
But yeah, it's raining harder.
So, are you involved with the party at all, with Libertarian Party or anything?
I'm not. Um, I'm more of a, I guess you could say, little L libertarian. I guess not really part of the party. Um, I'm fairly libertarian. But like I'm also kind of not. You could argue anarchist,
Anarchist.
ANCAP, whatever. So I'm somewhere in there. I still really don't know what I am, but I align more liberty minded side of things. So obviously I'm friends with libertarians, ANCAPs, anarcho, all kinds of people. And I'm good friends with fairly right wing, Trump people too. So again, I'm friends with everybody.
As long as you don't want to like tell me how to live my life,
Oh,
we're
is that
cool.
absolutely? Yeah.
It's like that easy. And if you're nice enough, like, yeah,
100%.
I don't believe necessarily in the party and all that, but I was like, well, I have energy and time, so I got involved, and then the Mises Caucus, and I've met some really cool people locally through that, so that's been nice. It was so funny. The couple first times I went out, they're like, "Are you Forest Mommy? I follow you." I was like, "Oh my god!" Like it was so
Right.
fun.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. If you go out, just travel anywhere, and somebody from Twitter recognizes you anywhere, it's like, oh my god, and like it's like you're a celebrity or something. But
Makes my
I've never really
life a
met.
little bit cooler.
I've never had that with me, but I've met up with a group of friends in Nashville, all Twitter friends who live around there. So I've done that before a couple times. It's pretty fun.
How's Nashville been with COVID and all that stuff?
Nashville has been pretty lax. Early on, they were pretty Tennessee in general. Like the first month, whole Tennessee, like April, March, whatever. More so April. Locked down for 15 days the whole month, everything, and then after that, it's been pretty lax and slowly getting more and more chill. Nashville, it kind of was a little bit longer overall, but Tennessee's been super chill and super lax about pretty much everything and whatnot. People around here where I live, like maybe 10% wear masks. Maybe everyone's just like over it and just like let's get on with our lives.
Yeah. I feel like people were like that in Colorado this summer, but then they got everybody scared again. And then Colorado is so city and rural. It is like very stark blue and red divide. And
Right.
not, I mean, it's stupid. It should be on the blue and red lines, but like, I can't wait. So like the forest property where I'll be living eventually, it's like it's in the cool, a better area. So I'm like,
Right.
where
You
I'm
said that
at.
your neighbor's house is for sale?
It was, yeah, next to the forest house, but this someone already went under contract with it. And actually the people who are buying it, like it's someone who lives in the little neighborhood too. So it's pretty
Nice.
cool. But it was expensive as hell. It was
I'm
expensive.
wanting to. I was wanting to buy a house at the end of next year, but with plans have changed. I'm probably thinking maybe 2, maybe 3 years from now, probably before I actually try to buy a house.
Yeah, if shit doesn't hit the fan.
Absolutely.
If you need a realtor in the Nashville area, I know a very nice realtor down there.
Really?
Yeah, we used to
I've
go to
got
Bible
one.
camp together.
Bible camp.
Yeah.
Nice. I
You have a friend or
because I live
something.
more so east of Nashville. I'm not
Okay.
like I'm sort of it's the greater Nashville metro. I'm not like in Nashville or anything, but I have some local realtors too and everything. But if I move to in Nashville, I'll probably hit her up or something, or because I'm not sure if I want to stay right where I'm at or move closer to Nashville. Either would be perfectly fine for me. Especially I work from home, so I could pretty much work from anywhere
Yeah,
if I
that's
wanted to.
nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, it is nice. It's just so hard. Like I've had so many clients give up this year and last year because like everything's so weird and like money's not real anymore. Like they're just like everything's so crazy, but whatever. I like real estate and it's pretty fun. So
It is. My mom actually tried going for real estate when she was really young. When I was really young, went for a little bit and then tried it out and was like, "No, this ain't for me." And then just she was mostly a housewife most of the time. My dad was running the business.
that's me. I'm realtor housewife, but with no kids. But yeah, real estate is interesting. Like if you need the money, you got to be like a crazy salesperson because you're not necessarily selling houses, you're selling yourself, so people will
Right.
use you. So like you have to be pushy and like so it's
Persistent. You gotta
yeah,
know what you're doing. Yeah.
it's one of those kind of industries where it's just like if you can kind of like have a fallback, then it's a little easier. But if you need that money, then but it can be expensive. It's like any business. It's your own and it's you. It can just get pricey, and especially if you want to advertise and stuff. I think it's for someone's
Right.
asking. I think you're from Indiana and you live in Tennessee now, correct?
Yes, I'm from Indiana, born and raised Indianapolis in the city. Lived out in the suburbs, just outside the city, most of my life. Moved to Tennessee in 2016.
Very nice. So you were in Indiana most. Excuse me. You're in Indiana most of your life, then, right?
Right. Yeah. I was in Indiana until 2014. I moved to Kentucky for 2 years, where all my mom's family's from, and then from there I moved to Tennessee because one, I kind of wanted another fresh start, and two, my sister lived in this area of Tennessee where I'm at, and so I moved there to help her out because she's also having a baby.
Nice. It's the way to do it. I lived in Virginia Beach for 4 months helping my sister when she had a baby. I was like, oh, I might as well get to go live by the
Right.
beach for a little bit. And I
Absolutely.
came back to Colorado. Had to.
I love Tennessee. It's a great place.
It's very pretty. I've been to Nashville one time and I had a blast when I was there. So
Oh, Nashville is great, especially if you're looking for something to do.
it
You
was
got
fun.
it is. I usually go to the zoo quite a bit too around there. And there's also a pretty awesome Renaissance festival that goes down every May just south of the city. It's this old guy. He's been doing it for almost 40 years. He's building. He has a castle he lives in on the grounds. He's built a castle.
So do you get dressed up and all that to go to the Renaissance?
Yes, I actually got dressed up this year. There's a picture of me probably from May on my Twitter. If somebody goes back
Okay.
that far and see me, it was actually pirate weekend that weekend. They have different theme weekends, and there's a pirate weekend, whatever. It's sort of around those times. So my outfit kind of coincided to almost sort of piratey, almost at least mine did. It was pretty fun. We my ex and I had made it a tradition. We'd go every year. The only year we didn't go was in 2020 because they shut it down that year.
That's so the town I'm from in Colorado, where the forest is, basically the only thing the town is known for is the Renaissance Festival. So I grew up right by the Renaissance Festival.
Nice.
So it's in Larkspur, Colorado, and it's like on the side of a mountain. It's growing up, my parents weren't into that kind of thing, so we never really went. I went like one time ever, but it was back in service this year, I think. So whatever, but it's pretty cool. I mean, I get it. Like, it's fun. But you got to pay to go. You got to pay to get in. You got to like pay to do everything there.
Yeah, it's like ours is like I think this year it was $40 a person. Not bad to get in. 40 or $50. And then once you're in, make sure you got to use cash because all the vendors there just use cash, and it's not too expensive to get stuff. My favorite thing, obviously, turkey legs, big thing that
hell
there.
Yeah, hell then, yeah.
The one where I'm at, I don't know if they had it, if you've been to any, chocolate covered cheesecake on a stick, like a whole slice of cheesecake like this big or something on a stick. It's amazing.
I bet that is good. So at the stock show out here in Colorado, which is not as Renaissance, has those cows and stuff, but we have it in January. I volunteer it for a couple years, obviously before last year, and they canceled it. And then this year they promised we weren't going to do mass. I already talked about this too much, but whatever, people, it's a big deal for me. But like they lied, and we have to wear masks now because Denver reinstated a mask mandate. So I'm like, I'm not volunteering, but that was like my favoriteest thing was the turkey legs you get, because it's kind of like they have carnival food there and stuff. So like the fucking $16 turkey leg was like so good.
16? Oh gosh.
Yeah. But if I would volunteer, and if you volunteered enough hours, you would get like a food ticket. So then I would
and that would cover for a turkey leg.
Yes.
Nice.
I love it. Oh, hold on. Are you tired? Hold on, I got someone from.
Honestly, there's no reason for me to be tired right now because I slept till noon today. On my days off, if I got nothing to do, I'm sleeping till like noon, just relaxing. I mean, I was up until 3:00 last night, but that's besides the point.
And you were on a space that whole time till 3:00?
Last night, yes. I was in that space. Oh gosh. I was in that space till about 3:00 ish. Actually, I was in that space from about 12:30 to 3:00. Because I took the new girl I'm seeing home last night at 12:30. So
you're like, I'm up. I'm going on the internet.
I'm up, and I get on these spaces, and I just keep listening and having fun, and and I was in there doing my chiming in with what the bits they're doing. It was awesome.
That does sound fun. If you find another fun one like that, you should invite me to it. Or
I will. And it's run by the same group of people, same 3 or 4 group of people every night, and they have like the regulars who come in and just have fun, troll, and just do their bits, and yeah.
It's fun. The internet is good sometimes.
Yes, very good.
It has good times. I was just gonna. Is weed legal in Tennessee?
Delta 8.
Okay.
Delta 8 CBD is Delta 9 actual THC stuff. It's obviously not or anything. So I'm elevated on tobacco.
I haven't tried any of the Delta 8s. I'm wondering. I was just telling someone the other day. Ever since weed got legalized out here, it's like. I haven't taken a break in forever. And I'm like, I want to feel high again, like regular high, but I'm always high. So I don't know. Right.
Tolerance. Me right now, I hadn't smoked maybe once or twice in the last 5 years until very recently, this last month and a half. So my tolerance is just at the floor. Like I've got none. And like I can feel good for an entire day off of like very, very, very little right now, which is awesome.
That is awesome. I need to get back to those days. I remember even like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, I would just take a gummy to go to yoga. Like, like it was just like nothing, and I could drive and it was fine. And now I'm like wouldn't it be like those first, you know, those first couple times you ever got high where it was just like, oh,
Oh,
holy shit. Like,
when I was a kid, this is after your time, I guess. You probably never had any of this. This kind of started about 11 years ago, 12 years ago. Remember Spice? Ever heard of Spice?
yeah, I remember Spice.
Yep. That was the first thing I ever got high on was Spice. I think I was 16, 15, 16.
Nice.
That was a trip.
You get it at like head shops and stuff, if I remember correctly,
Yeah,
right?
and like for me, like it would like make my throat feel like it was closing up on me every
Oh
time.
no.
So I only did just a few, and then I just started smoking a little bit. Did a whole bunch at college, and then after I got to college, and then I stopped for 5 years completely.
That's good. Did you? So you said you didn't finish college, right? You said.
No, I went about 2 years, two and a, one and like 3/4, but pretty much two because I had I finished 2 years and then I just dropped out. This isn't for me. I didn't want to go to college to
And have
begin
that
with.
debt. Have that debt then too. Like fuck that.
Luckily, I don't have a whole lot of debt, college debt. Excuse me.
You're good. I'm
I
burping
got
like crazy over here. So.
right. I moved out when I was 16. And so by the time I was 18 and getting my loans and grants and stuff, I was decent at school. So, but they also saw, hey, you don't have any parental help, so we're going to give you a little bit more when it comes to these grants and stuff. So I only
Nice.
ended up having like maybe $8,000 in student loans for 2 years. So I got off easy.
Yeah, it's not. Well, you didn't keep. That's the thing is, people will go for the 4 years,
Right.
and then they're like, okay, whatever, however much in debt, 80 grand in debt, and they're like, well, let me go for another 2 years and it's like, then they want to rack up more. It's like, no, like
Right.
that's just a
Yeah.
lot.
Now
You're not gonna be a
Tennessee.
doctor.
Right. Tennessee has this thing that's, I'm probably never going to use it, but it's a thing there that people have. I know other states have similar stuff like it, where it's called two programs called Tennessee Promise and Tennessee Reconnect, to where Tennessee Promise is out of high school up until the age of 24. You can get 2 years paid free of any community or trade school in the state, any public one. And then Tennessee Reconnects is kind of the same thing, where you can't have a degree of any kind already, but if you go as you're older, like late 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, you're going back to school that you never finished, they'll give you 2 years free at one of the community colleges.
That's good, especially with the trade school. I remember out
Yep.
here, my brother and I, he's 5 years older than me, and he went to the same high school as me. But when he was in high school, they would send you for your junior and senior year. If you wanted, you could go to a trade school for part of it. So like he graduated high school with his HVAC certification and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, but then when I got there, like they didn't really like offer it anymore. And it's like, why can't, if we're going to pay for public school, I would love to pay for trade schools, because then you got people coming out with actual like to do stuff. Like it's real work. The people who are needed when it's snowing out and your heat goes out, like those kind of people. So I don't understand why. I don't know if it was because of the whole computer, and it probably was planned. I'm sure it was all planned to get everybody like hating on trades and stuff and thinking, oh no, you have to go to college.
Because that's what I would recommend is if you don't have something specific like doctor, lawyer, engineer, something really specific you need that you want to do, then you need that college degree, 4, 6, 8, however many years you got to go. If you're just going out there, go to a trade school. They can teach you lots of stuff: HVAC, welding, automotive,
plumbing, electricity,
all kinds of stuff, and you make lots of money doing that and be comfortable. And it only takes a couple years, maybe an apprenticeship or two, depending on what it is. And obviously, nursing, that's not too intensive on schooling to be just a regular nurse, I guess. I'm like a RN or something, or I don't know.
But yeah, I think there's like a 2-year degree you can get for that.
Mm-hmm.
I went to some college. I know it's shocker, but I didn't go to a complete college. But I went to that. I was going to be a vet tech, and I went to a little bit of college, and it was a trade school kind of college, and they did nursing there and stuff.
Oh. Right. Yep. That's how some of them are in Tennessee. A lot of the trade schools also have nursing there too.
That's good post owner that they're still doing that. I went to Front Range up there in Fort Collins for a little bit. It was all right, but then at the time I was doing bookkeeping straight out of high school, and I was making more doing bookkeeping than I would ever make as a vet tech. So I was like,
Really?
yeah, I was like, okay,
Bookkeeping?
yeah. And then I just on the job training became a full charge. I was a full charge bookkeeper for like 12 years.
Oh
me,
wow.
me,
Like
and
what do
then
you do? And like I know what bookkeeping is, but like what do you do as like a bookkeeper?
so it just depends on the company you work for. So like one company I worked for was a concert promoter out here, which that was pretty cool. So it's just keeping track of like paying out the bands and paying everything. The last company I did it for, we did jukeboxes and pool tables and bars. So
Right.
it's just running the stuff for the company, making sure all the bills are paid for the company, and then that company specifically, I was counting cash every day and like doing all the deposits and stuff like that. So some of the tax stuff, like
Okay, so a little bit of everything, just lots of office work.
yeah, it's like just like running the financials of the company and stuff. So
No, and of course you guys had accountants doing like specific accounting stuff, right?
yeah, like the big major, the whole company tax stuff returns that we send that off to a CPA. So, and I actually did go to some school. I almost got my associates in accounting. Like I almost had enough for it. And I just went to community college for that and paid for it as I went, but whatever.
Right.
Tickets for what, Colton? What do you mean? Your government isn't vaccinating schools. Yeah, I guess if you like, because I guess most of colleges probably are requiring vaccines
Vax, a
now.
lot of them, yeah. I don't know too much about Tennessee schools, but I know several around the country are like you can't come unless you vaxxed. Even if it's remote learning, you got to be vaxxed. It's just stupid.
My niece is on a soccer scholarship at a school in North Carolina, and I think they're pushing her, and it's like I feel bad because here's like you're getting to go to school for free, which whatever, and now they're gonna make her do this, and she's part of our family. We've made it very clear, like obviously it's your choice, you're an adult, but like especially the soccer players that are all collapsing and shit, it's like, and she's already had like some weird seizure issues, which probably is from vaccines too back in the day, who knows, like
Possibly
because they pump them full of so many now, like poor thing. I would not have survived this shit if I was young.
I wasn't I was for or okay with getting vaccinated as a kid and whatnot, before the last 2 years, but after it's just like I don't want any more ever again. I'm sorry.
That's making us all question it, right? We're all like, maybe and then like I started reading up on stuff on the polio, where polio may not have even been polio, and like there's just so much information out there now where it's like, holy crap. Like,
but there's so much, but with
go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying with a lot of the information out there, some of it, could just be bullcrap.
Oh yeah. And a lot of it can be bullcrap. But the polio thing I've been reading was, at the time, kids would spray DDT everywhere, and there was all this metals was in a lot of the products back then and stuff. And they're like, maybe someone was trying to like say like, as soon as they stopped DDT, then the polio went away. As like, I don't know. It was just interesting to read because it's like, it's interesting, I should know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why all the like NBA. Why is it just soccer players that are like collapsing? That is little weird.
I would argue soccer players probably get the most intense cardio because
it's constant.
They're always running and walking nonstop. There's never a break at all, hardly ever in those games. For one, like we're in football and basketball, there's always stoppage between plays. When the ball's out of play, type of thing. I mean, that would make sense. They're constantly working their heart a bit more, but I could be totally wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to that, really.
No, I think you're right. I think I read somewhere that football, like the ball is in actual play for like only 11 minutes during the whole game.
Right.
Like or something. Like there's just
there's always the clock ticking down between plays and whatnot.
Yeah. But with the vaccine, so when I was 16, I got the shingles when I was 16, which is like really weird. But I was like, maybe it was, I remember I had gotten like the MMR and some other stuff before high school at like 14 or 15. And I was like, you never know, because they're saying shingles is coming from other vaccines too now. So with the
that's weird. Isn't
chickenpox vaccine, It's chicken
Yeah, is it
pox, but like different.
okay?
I got
Isn't it like you can
scars.
only get shingles if you have had chicken pox, right?
Yes, you've had to have had chicken pox, and then you can kind of get shingles, and it's basically a herpes or like it's not viral. It's like in your nerves and
It's
stuff.
already in your body because you had chicken
Yeah,
pox, right? It's
yeah,
just like a reemergence sort of that in some form. Okay.
exactly. And like a lot of people would get it older, really bad, like really bad. When I was 16, I got a huge chunk of it, like right on my side. I have some scars from
Oh
it, but
gosh.
I was like, why? I was 16. I always blamed it on my parents for stressing me out. I was like, you guys stressed me out too much. But then now after this year, I've been like, it very well could have been from vaccines because I've just been a healthier
Possibly.
person. So maybe that messed me up. Like, who
I don't
knows?
think I've had shingles. I was fairly healthy myself when it comes to getting stuff like that, but I had scarlet fever when I was a little kid, like seven or six or
Oh,
seven, really
damn.
bad.
Did you get the chickenpox vaccine at your
I
age?
honestly have no idea. I don't even remember. I honestly don't remember if I ever had chicken pox or got the vaccine. So if I get it now, I might be screwed.
Yeah, but I mean, I know I had it when I was one. So immunization is different than a vaccination. My mother was head of immunizing kids for polio and things like that. Not anything to do with corporate. Yeah. I mean, yeah. For how many years I was trying to make a video today, like how many years after that Michael Moore and Sicko documentary and all that, like everybody hated Big Pharma and now they're all pro, like fucking get on everything you can, as much as you can, like all these drugs and it just makes no sense now. These
Right.
parties, yes.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I've never had to been prescribed or needed to take drugs. I mean, only drug I take is 3 Excedrin every morning to help with my headaches and migraines.
Or recreational drugs and stuff,
Or
right? Like,
recreational ones, yeah, the ones that are actually really good for you.
yeah, that's the same here. I've never, and like, I know a lot of people have been like, they would go out of their way because they're like, oh, I'm super depressed or whatever. And this, and I'm like, you should do everything in your power to not need to actually like be on a prescription.
Yeah,
It's just makes the sense. And I was talking about this with David yesterday. Like, people get so mad when they're like, if you just suggest, hey, maybe let's go for a walk or whatever, like do all these other things. And they're like, no, like that doesn't fix my depression. And it's like, no, we're not saying it's going to fix it. Nothing will fix it in this world. We're all depressed, like whatever. But like,
right.
like you might as well try everything you can and not be on all these drugs. It's like,
Exactly. My mom has needed. She got in a real bad car accident about 2006. Shattered her right leg
oh,
completely.
poor baby.
Got a. She was only 34 at the time,
Aw.
and yeah, she she was got drunk after going to one of my dad's shows because he was a musician and missed a T, came down a curve, missed a T, going 60 miles an hour, and hit the corner of a brick house.
Oh man.
Broke it, and she still has a limp to this day. And she's early on, they pumped her full of drugs and whatnot, and nowadays she's self medicated with weed, which is good. She's always on it, helps her out quite a bit.
They're better than the opiates, the
Oh,
opioids or whatever.
100%. I'm surprised she never got hooked on them like that.
That's what I love right now. People in one breath can say, oh, they got everybody hooked on opioids. And then they're like, oh, we need to give our kids like 8 shots right now. So like, just makes no sense anymore. It's just that really is from the social media. I think how people got so crazy this last year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Social media, just corporate media too, and just people just Facebook and Twitter cracking down on stuff and it's information they don't like or don't deem as appropriate to the narrative. They'll just try to suppress it or wipe it away if they can.
That's one thing I like about Twitter more is that I like block all ads I get. Like I'm not fed any like advertise or like news or something. Like I have to follow that news to kind of see
Right.
it, whereas like Facebook, right before I got off Facebook, and I was even on Anarchist Liberty Facebook, and I would still see shit that would like try to make Jordan Peterson look bad or like all these, like it was all that kind of stuff, that algorithmic
Right.
stuff. And then like I was like, oh shit. So that's one thing I like about better. Oh, dope.
That's also one thing um I like about the recent. I know people hate Apple a lot. I like about the recent iOS update, when like the new version, you can actually stop asking these apps to track you, so you're not targeted with stupid specific ads. They're always random, so I'm not seeing stupid stuff that just triggers. That just makes me mad. Like, okay, whatever.
Right. I just get a bunch of ads for like video games. I'm like, I don't even play video games, but I
I
get a
get
bunch of
lots of those
ads.
too.
Like,
Like it's all the time. I those so many ads for those video games, and some of them are just absolutely stupid.
have you seen someone mentioned Dope Sick? I haven't watched Dope Sick because I don't have Hulu.
Dope sick. I've heard of that before. What is
Everyone
dope
says it's
sick?
amazing. It's about basically how screwy the big pharma and
It's
everything
on
is.
Hulu.
Yeah, it's on Hulu though.
Okay, I might check that out.
Yeah, the opiate crisis did go hand in hand with Afghanistan. And now I'm thinking, sorry, my ear hurts right now. Come here again. I thought it was interesting. I'm worried about kids getting like addicted to getting shots and shit right now. They're
Oh
all gonna
my
be
gosh,
addicted
that'd
to
be terrible.
heroin.
Now my kids, mostly because of my ex, it's a hereditary thing in their family, where it messes with their blood cells and their whole spleen and whatnot. Um, it's a genetic thing. So my oldest has it because it can pass on. So we don't know if my youngest has it yet, so he might get it. And the problem with her and them is they are allergic to certain types of medicines. They typically can't have penicillin, because they might be allergic to penicillin more often than not because of this disorder. And then also specifically certain vaccines, specifically the COVID vaccine, they can't have. They'll have an allergic reaction to it because some of the ingredients in them.
Yeah, there's so many. That's what's sad about. Like, there are so many people. I have people who have bad reactions to flu vaccines, so they're not going to get. They don't want to get this. Like,
Right.
yeah, opioids do definitely obviously help. I mean, shit, when you get
Yeah.
surgery and you're like, you need your morphine and shit. Like, but yeah, it was the drug manufacturers who were pushing it and having the doctors push it and like
100%. They had their lobbyists in Congress too, and then all that stuff saying, "Hey, push, push, push! Man, you need to fill out this prescription to this person."
Yep. And then they all like wanted to sue him. Like, I have a friend who worked for Denver. She was a lawyer for Denver, and now she's a judge. We're not friends anymore. But she like was all like, "Oh, we're suing the opioid companies," and then it's like, so then they got all this money from the opioid companies, but then like they already get the money from like it's such a it's money laundering at a certain point, like between
Right.
these companies and the government and shit. So I don't know.
And then they just print more and more and more.
Yeah, like it's just it's like it's like why are we even anymore? Like Mr. Forrest mommy was like, you got to pay your taxes, and I was like, why like why anymore? I pay all this, because I work 1099, so I just pay once a year or whatever, and then they ended up sending it back this year anyway, so I was like,
Right.
okay, whatever, like fine. I didn't pay for 2 years.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, they sent it back. So that's their mistake. So whatever.
And then probably watch like a year or two down the road, you'll get audited, and they'll be like, "Hey, you didn't pay this taxes this year." They'll do that type of shit.
Yeah, they will be like that. Yeah, it can't be like anything that's misused. Trust me, I have problems with some shit too. Like, it's all good, but the fact that the government can like push drugs in the way, like we have government run healthcare basically. It's like the government is involved with big pharma, which is involved with everything. So
100%. It's corporo fascism is what it is. It's borderline true fascism now, and people can't. A lot of people, especially on the left, can't see that, and then they call the right and people who are liberty-minded fascists.
Yeah, Trump was super fascist.
He was the worst dictator ever, even worse than Hitler and Stalin combined. Mao, all of them.
Yeah, and then it's like, was that a psyop? Did they get the left to like focus on that shit so that when it actually happened, they wouldn't be able to realize it? Like,
Because it's just interesting how they're playing their game right now.
Yes. And you know what's stupid is I always thought I was more left, and then this year I'm like, no, apparently I'm not. I mean, I am
No,
like in some ways, but then I'm like, no, I
right.
just live your fucking life. Like,
I think a lot of it is because most people who would be moderates or even moderate Democrats now are considered right or very right wing. It's just that Overton window shifted so far to the left of like, because the far left has gone so far left and authoritarian. It's crazy.
so far where it's like for the last 10 years I've had a huge group of like trans friends and stuff, and then I'm like, okay, but also we shouldn't like be having kids do that. Like, but then I'm the bad guy now, and it's like, but no, like we shouldn't be screwing kids up in their heads about that kind of stuff. I don't know,
100%.
like,
Then they're pushing it on them, and they have these agendas in many schools. And there was this one, I saw some video, an article about this one school where they actually had text messages about how they were wanting to push this stuff on their kids to brainwash them to think a certain way on purpose.
it just drives me nuts, especially because I've mentioned this a million times, but like I was a huge tomboy. I had boy haircut. I was always like, no, I want a boy haircut, but no one ever said, hey, maybe you're a boy. Which, thank God, no one ever said. Like no one ever.
Right.
Don't
Because,
put that in
especially
someone's head.
if you're young and they told you that, like, you're like, oh, maybe I am. You don't know. Right.
Like, otherwise you're just like, this is just me. This is just who I
Just,
am and
yeah.
what I like. Like, and I've
I'm a girl
heard.
who likes. I'm a girl who likes to be dressed like a tomboy. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I grew up in the freaking forest all by myself. Like, I was playing in the forest and shit. But like, I remember there was a guy who Joe Rogan had on who was a totally secular biologist. So it wasn't even like from a religious standpoint or anything, but he was like, what is going on is so wrong, because they have this thing where like it's called a genderbread, like a gingerbread, but genderbread that they
Oh,
were showing. Have
yeah,
you heard about that?
genderbread guy. Yes,
Yeah. And it's
I
like
know the
about
genderbread
like
guy.
it's about like secondary sex. So like if you're hairy, or if you're this, or like if you're like, I've always had small boobs and stuff, like, and it's like, why are we teaching them this? My niece, like I'm the weird person out. My whole family is more Italian looking. I'm blonde and stuff. But like my nieces who are young, they're like starting to get some like mustaches, but that's just like
Yep.
how it is when you're Italian, And I'm like,
Yeah.
why are we now we're going to tell them that they might be a boy because of that? And it's like,
Yep. It's the genderbread person by Sam Killerman that came out in 2011.
oh,
Yep, I remember that.
that's so messed up. That's just basically like, that's like worse than but that's like the worst body shaming there can be. Really? Like, that's like, if you say, oh, women have to look a certain, they say like, modeling and fashion made women think they had to look a certain way. And I'm like, well, what do you think that is? That's telling people they have to look a certain way. Like,
Right.
I can't stand that shit. Like, don't from whatever side, right, left, whatever. Don't screw with people's heads on their, like, on that kind of stuff. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Oh, Colton says, so Colton's a firefighter up in Canada. I think he's in Alberta. He says he's responding to hundreds of overdoses a week. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna.
wow.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
That wouldn't surprise me either. But I've had some close calls. No, just kidding, people. But it's been a hard 2 years for Forest Lobby. But whatever.
Absolutely. It's been terrible.
Well,
Terrible 2 years.
we've been an hour and you're yawning. Do you want to cut it?
No, I'm still going. Don't mind my yawning.
Okay, we can keep going. Okay.
As long as you want it to go. I remember you saw you were on one with Hex, or you're one and then with
We went
Hex for like 6 hours.
We went 6 hours. Are you still here, Hex? Yeah, we went 6 hours. That was crazy.
Gosh.
I might have to. Do you mind if I go to the bathroom really quick? I know this is.
Yeah, I was actually gonna go pour myself another whiskey. So let's go do that.
All right, everybody, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. Post Stoner. When are we gonna meet up? When am I gonna come up and meet ya? We should meet at we should meet up at the cinnamon roll place in the Johnson's Corner or whatever. Yeah, terribly tactical. I don't know if you're still here. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything. When's the Greeley Stampede, Post? Let's meet up before then. We should hang out.
Fixing my hair.
I know, it's constant. I'm always playing. We're twins.
I'm always doing it. I got a haircut yesterday, so going back to my old haircut. Have it undercut with the sides faded up on it.
Here, turn your head so we can see it. There you go.
Here.
Very nice. Very nice. Very fancy. I like it. Yeah, free for us, mommy. They won't. I think it's done. Like, I don't even
Did
think
they give you like the final, like, it's permanent?
Yeah, they're like, I don't even think I can appeal it or nothing.
Yeah, they're changing their mind. That sucks.
They're lost.
Absolutely.
Whatever. Anyways. True. I was just talking to this post stoner or drag. I don't even. What is your name, Post, on Twitter? I forget. But God, this person keeps popping up. I need to ban them completely, but I can't. He lives near me. We've been trying to. I want to meet up. I love meeting my Colorado people. Like, we have a huge community out in Colorado now, which has been really, really cool. I'm gonna force him to meet up with me, whether he likes it or not.
Right. Yeah, I don't live too close to anybody that I know on Twitter, except for the ones I met up in Nashville.
I feel like it grows and grows. Like, you might not think that, but then it eventually grows. Like, it just, at least that's how Colorado's been. It's just been like more and more people pop up and.
Right. Like more and more people. It's hard to believe Twitter is like one of the smallest platforms, really. Like out of all the biggest platforms, they're only like 17th, like maybe 600 million people, not like 5 billion like Twitter, like Facebook is.
Yeah, it's all the cool people though. Thank you, Terribly Tactical. So my buddy Terribly Tactical, follow him on YouTube too. He's like always been pushing me to be better, and he doesn't want me to. He doesn't want to have me on to stream anymore. I think he's embarrassed of me, but
what? I'll have you on. I'll have you on to my stream.
I'm just giving him
podcast
shit. Just giving
if
him
I start
shit.
it up again, I need
you
to.
Should.
Get
Is
in
it on
contact.
YouTube? Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's the Actually Blazed podcast is what it's called.
I'm gonna follow it right now.
I actually have a Twitter too. It's in the handle is in my bio on my Twitter.
Okay.
As well. Solemnly Stoned is the co-host. We've both just been with life and everything so busy because we had a Halloween night podcast, almost lasted 3 hours. It was awesome, and yeah,
it's fun, right?
Up again. What?
It's fun, right?
It's awesome. It's pretty good.
Everybody go follow the Actually Blazed podcast as well as Terribly Tactical. Terribly Tactical is awesome.
Let's look up Terribly Tactical.
He talks a lot of guns, but he does a Sunday night thing, and
I love guns. Yep, just
yeah, guns
just
are
subscribe.
great.
I love firearms and whatnot. I don't know if you can see it, but right here, my baby right here.
Keep that gat on you.
Oh yeah. I have it. I don't know if you've seen my pictures of me when I post food. I have it sitting on the table right next to me because half the time when I get home, I just carry it on me and I cook dinner and then I just take it off as I sit down to eat. And people are like, "What's your gun doing in that picture next to your food? You're not going to eat your gun, are you?"
No, but someone can bust into your house at any fucking time.
Right.
So it's not that hard. It's not that hard to understand. I don't know.
Right.
People are crazy. Shit. No, we could talk about guns, I guess, now. I got a 3D printer to print guns, but I did the 2 test prints, but I haven't printed a gun yet. So
Okay.
it's hard.
Right. It's yeah. I just carry a Glock for daily. I don't really talk about my other guns. Keep you guessing.
This is a Glock household because Mr. Forrest you wanted to be a cop. He was a cop for a minute. So this is a Glock
Okay.
household.
Right, Glock. Yep.
Yeah.
I carry a 43X.
The 40, I don't carry that, but I want that one to carry. I need to get that
Yes,
one.
they're hard to find. I found one. I found it earlier back in February of this year. I was looking for them, especially all last year. Like people were buying up guns
because they're
like
great.
crazy.
They're great everyday carry. So
They are. The reason I wanted it because it was small, light, 10 rounds. There's a Shield Arms, I think it's called. There's a magazine called S15. It's a 15 sort of double stack design. They can fit in that small little 10 mag well that the normal Glock 43X carries. It's crazy. I want that.
Probably can't
really
buy
hard to
that in
get.
Colorado. The Glock mags, you can't buy the Glock mags in Colorado, but I can buy them. Have them sent to my
Really?
friend in Arizona.
There's no shops in Colorado anywhere that sells them?
No, it's the amount or whatever. We have a mag.
Oh, more than 10.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a mag restriction, right?
Yeah. It's
Tennessee's like super like 2A friendly.
Is it constitutional carry there?
Yes, it is.
Yes, nice.
And so is Kentucky. Whenever I go up there, because my family lives up there, go up there. And the thing about Kentucky is it's constitutional carry. So even though I'm not a citizen, I don't have to have permit of any kind up there either. I can just walk in, even as a Tennessee resident, and still carry.
It should be that in all Colorado. There's a handful of counties in Colorado that you can open carry. Pretty much Denver just doesn't let you, but like this whole state should be. But with our fucking stupid governor, I don't know. But and he's all trying to be a libertarian now. He's all like trying to like go back on the bullshit.
Pretty, except for Denver, it's pretty red, isn't it?
It's like basically Boulder, Denver, Fort Collins. The cities are super blue, and then like the rest of it's red, except for the blue,
mostly, right? In the last few elections,
the last couple, because of the cities. That's where the most people live,
right?
And then like we have this like where all the famous people go in the mountains. Like tell you right, that's all blue up there too. But like everywhere else, like when I was showing houses during before the election, I was driving all the fuck over with some of my clients. Like it was like Biden signs in the city and everywhere else Trump signs. Like it's so like it's crazy.
Like where I live, like the little neighborhood I live in, when he first pulled in here and then it kind of splits off, there's a house right there. He had a huge Biden flag sitting there in the front.
Yeah, it's like, and
everybody else that lives in the neighborhood's red.
It's so silly. Anyways, I have clients who own businesses, and this was like November 2020, and they were like, they got fucked over by all the shutdowns and stuff, and then they still voted Biden. And after he said like he was going to shut everything down, at first he was saying he was going to shut everything down again. And I'm like, how? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, it's so simple. But people like I think it's people who don't really think and they don't read and they don't like know at all what's going on.
Absolutely.
And they're in the city they're like, whatever.
Vote blue no matter who. That's all they know.
And they all wanted to defund the police until like the crime got really bad in their city. And then they're like, oh shit. Like,
right. I saw Joe asked in the YouTube chat how many of those fools took their Biden signs down, which I think is pretty funny because I still see tons of people with their Trump signs and flags up, and I see like almost no Biden signs anymore.
That's true. Oh, New Hampshire is constitutional carry. Vermont and Maine are too.
Yeah, there's so many states now. I think at least 20 are constitutional carry. And a lot of people didn't realize back like not even 30, 40 years ago, gun laws and regulations and restrictions in these states were at the level almost of California is now. It's not that long ago. People don't realize that. Nowadays, so many people are in so many states, and people realizing, hey, we got to have our guns and our rights to our guns now. So they're finally changing that.
Yeah, that was one like backfire of like all the riots and shit last year. Is even people on the left were like, "Oh, I kind of get like maybe it's probably okay to have a gun at home." Yeah, Hex.
Right.
I hope Ohio does. I hope Ohio does it. I hope Colorado does it. I don't know.
Ohio.
Colorado's so screwed up.
I've seen some Ohio hate threads on Twitter recently. I don't know if you've seen those.
Yeah, everybody hates Ohio, but
there was a space the other night.
People.
There's I know a lot of good friends. My co-host lives in Ohio. He's from Ohio. There's a lot of a space I saw last night called Jihad on Ohio.
Oh, no. Poor Ohio. Yes, terribly tactical. All gun laws are infringements, and free men don't ask permission. It's true. It's
right.
True.
You got to remember the line, shall not be infringed.
Live free or die as well. Yeah, Ohio got a bad name, especially from that. Did you ever see that movie Gummo? I don't know if you ever saw Gummo.
Gummo?
Gummo. Gummo. It's a crazy movie. There was this like weird director from a while ago. He made Kids and Gummo. But Gummo made like Ohio look like really bad. But
interesting.
It's kind of a good movie. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a little fucked up, but it's kind of good too.
I've never heard of Gummo.
It's a when you're like in a weird mood about humans. It's fucked up.
Here's a funny. I just pulled up Gummo on Wikipedia. This film was actually shot and filmed in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. But it was supposed to be set in Ohio, right? I feel like it was.
Right. Yeah, they do that a lot. A lot of movies are like shot in California or Georgia, believe it or not. At least in the U.S., they are.
Or in New Mexico, if you're Alec Baldwin. That's so fucked up. So I don't know if you heard
talked about that a little on our podcast a little bit.
Did you? Well, so there was this truck driver in Colorado who came down the mountain and caused a huge accident and killed 4 people.
I saw that. I heard that.
Yeah, and so he got 110 years for killing 4 people, and it was, car accidents are obviously you're at fault a lot of times, and he was at fault. But 110 years, come on. But Alec Baldwin can kill one person purposely by pointing a gun at him, and he's like not getting anything. Like, How is that?
He's a celebrity. He's a big name. He's powerful. Maybe not as powerful as some others, but like he's a well-known, powerful, influential celebrity, director, producer, whatever. But also, I thought it was kind of funny after that happened, because it was like mid-late October when that happened, right? I had a tweet out there like, imagine sometime early next year he's going to do like an interview documentary where it paints him as the victim. And not even a month and a half later, he did that ABC interview where he's just crying the whole time saying, I didn't pull that trigger. When there were after he had the interview, there were tons of people who had like gun YouTubers had videos with that same exact specific cult model and how it actually operates. And he had to have there's no way, unless that cult was so poorly maintained, there's absolutely no way that bullet would have gone off if he had not pulled the trigger. He had to have pulled the trigger or had his finger on the trigger. Maybe even he didn't pull it. It was just all the way in. It was like it had already pulled, but he pulled back the hammer or something like that. One of those two had to happen.
Regardless, it's an accident. Like, if you and I do something, we have to pay for our accidents.
Exactly. If it's an accident, it's still manslaughter. At least obviously under the law.
Right. It's still there's still, but like obviously he doesn't even have to like be in jail for a night or nothing. Like, it's all good.
Nope. They're still investigating it, they say.
I hope something happens just to make I don't think anything will, because we live in this crazy ass world. Although Ghislaine Maxwell did get guilty verdicts today. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes. Out of 5 out of 6 counts guilty. Yeah.
But then they closed all the information or whatever. Like
sealed it and redacted a lot of stuff from the file, so you don't get all the juicy bits. But I think hers, she's just so high profile that they had to do something. She's that sacrificial lamb.
Kind of, but she was part of it. Like I'm
a
degenerate. I'm a degenerate to some extent, but like if you're being
I'm a terrible degenerate.
Yeah, but we do it with consenting adults, and these are people who found young girls who were like innocent and like like they knew it. Like it's fucked up. And I've seen people go too far even with adults. So I'm like, of course, all the people with all the power and money in the world, of course, they're not like be like this. But like, we'll see what happens to her. We'll see if like she lives. I don't know if you saw. Do you watch Reed's podcast at all?
Occasionally.
He had the girl who was the first one who ever like filed any charges and stuff. He had her on.
She was on there?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to watch that one.
She's on all the like documentaries and stuff you see too. So like it's that
Did she ever go on Eliza Blue's podcast too?
I don't know. She may have. Maybe that's how
I would imagine she probably had, because Eliza's all about fighting that.
Yeah, like, and that's just the creepy shit, like where people are like targeting. It just creeps me out because it's such a simple little like where they have these girls. Like, thank God I was awkward in my teenage years and had no interest in anything. But like, if they like targeted these younger girls, and they knew what they were doing, and then they like spring this whole, well, just give them a massage and jack them off. It's fine. Like, it's like, what the fuck? Like, and then they have all who even knows all the weird shit. Like, you can go so far into like conspiracy. At this point, I think Pete Buttigieg from Indiana or whatever, however you say his name. Like
Pete Buttigieg or whatever.
Yeah, because I have family in South Bend, and then like Jen Paskey or whatever. Like I feel like they are people who are born out of this. Like I feel like they were born out of that shit. Like I don't know, it's creepy. But
and like with Pete Buttigieg, like he was a terrible mayor, terrible in the primaries against everybody, and then. Let's make him a transportation secretary. Like, what experience does he have being a transportation secretary?
And that's how the world's been going so much, where it's like people get hired into a lot of positions that they're just, it's either they know
not
someone,
qualified for.
They're not
especially
qualified
this administration. This administration
qualified.
is just an absolute just shit show. Like the worst people, the most embarrassing I've seen in a long, even worse than Bush. Terrible administration.
Yeah, and it's like I don't trust any of them motherfuckers anymore, because like, why do you even want to? Like, that's like my friend who wanted to become a judge. I'm like, why do you want to be a judge? And she's obviously not fucking doing anything for the people anymore. So it's like, what are you after? Like, what? Like, I don't know. I don't trust any of them. It's all fucked up. They don't have any, like Kamala. What the fuck? Like, what does she do? What does she do?
She dropped out with like. Especially after Tulsi annihilated her in that debate, dropped out, didn't like have any delegates whatsoever. It's a disgrace. And then, Biden was like, my first lady is going to be African American and a woman, and then she's not even African American, she's Indian.
Yeah,
Indian like, and something.
Yeah, half Indian, half Haitian, maybe that's where the black comes in a little bit, something like that.
I mean. I'm not. She probably is African American in some, but like I've heard she's.
We all are not. Technically, right? Isn't that where all the humans came from?
Like I'm 0.01% this, and I don't really. I've been wanting to actually take one of those DNA ancestry tests or something to see like what my ancestry is and whatnot.
Oh,
I know I'm like an
Jamaican.
eighth to roughly a quarter Native American. So because my great grandmother was full blooded Cherokee, so.
So you're an American.
I'm a full-blooded American.
Yeah,
100%.
Hexa said she's Jamaican. That's right, because my friend who's a judge, she's Jamaican. So like when Kamala was running, she was like, oh, and I'm like,
Jamaican.
And then she's like, oh, people like me. Like it's just sad to see people like you love, like where you're like, oh shit, you're like infected with the elite disease where you want elitism and shit. I was telling Hex, like, this is my friend who, she's a Jamaican friend and I'm white, obviously. And we are friends for like 10 years almost. And then last year in 2020 in the summer, she all of a sudden was like, oh, have you read this book, White Fragility? And I was like,
oh gosh.
I'm like, what? Why would I read why would I read that book?
Has she read
No.
Ibram X. Kendi too?
I'm sure by now she has. Oh, and her husband's white, so you know.
Oh gosh, I bet he's a soy boy or something.
No,
offense.
The saddest thing is he's not, and he was anti-government, and I think they're split up now. I think they split up. So
okay, well, he's I imagine he's doing much better now. No offense to her or anything, but
no, and I loved her as a like. It's just sad. Yeah, it's just sad. It's just sad. Yeah, I didn't do those DNA tests because I was afraid they were selling her.
Right.
Whatever.
I mean, they probably are, but you know, everything about us is being sold. Everything.
Yes. And we participate.
Any information you give anybody, any government, any entity, any store, it's being sold. It
is being sold. I'd rather sell my physical body than be sold like. Seriously though. Yeah, heck, she did make her career locking up black vote, and she like bragged about it, and she like.
Oh, Tulsi mentioned that in that debate. Oh, it was incredible.
And she didn't Tulsi like not like go after Hillary at that debate. I don't know if it was that.
No,
debate,
Hillary didn't run in 2020. Remember?
I just feel like there was something where Tulsi, whatever. I mean, whatever.
She was going after everybody, but mostly Kamala. I imagine she went after Warren too.
Yeah, hopefully.
I love that flag you have in the background.
Do you like my Navy Jack?
It's the
original.
Don't tread on me.
It's the original like don't tread on me flag though. This is called the Navy Jack.
Nice. I have one. Here, I can move my camera. You can see it over here on the side there. It's 13 stars. It's a 13 stars.
Oh yeah, I see it hanging there.
Old tea stained flag.
Nice.
You can probably see it in some of my.
Heck, she went after Pete, like, in that debate or whatever. I didn't watch any of that shit, so I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. This Sunday, well, I might as well plug it. So this Sunday, me and Hex, maybe me, Hex, do you want to stream this Sunday? But before me and Hex stream, Robbie the Fire is going to come on with me on Sunday at some point too.
Nice.
So it'll be a full day because Saturday is going to be, I'm going to go hard on New Year's Eve because I'm just going to be home. So
that's right, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day.
And then I'll recover on New Year's Day and then back to it on Sunday.
Recover and then stream. Because you got a couch there too, don't you?
Yeah, that's right.
You've streamed on before?
I just flip my camera around and I have a couch on the other, or it's a futon, but yeah.
Futon,
so I can have people in person too. So
exactly, that's great. Just talking to them and have multiple of you, and then stream somebody else as well.
I'm like, it's like a full-on studio in my closet here. So.
It's your closet?
Yeah, but it's one of the rooms turned into my closet.
Okay. As you can see, mine's in my living room. Got my TV back there. Got my dream catcher.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if you've seen my shoe. This is my shoe closet that I'm in. So it's like those are all my shoes.
Oh, nice. So you got all your shoes and everything around you.
Yeah, I'm spoiled a little bit, but
yeah.
You know what? When you don't have kids, you can kind of be like me.
Right. And these are my you can see them behind me. They were all white, but you can't really tell. These are all orange Halloween lights I just string up in my living room.
That's the way to do it.
Nice orange ambiance and mood.
I like it. Oh, I don't know when the yoga streams are post, but tomorrow's when I'm having my girl stream. So it'll be girls tomorrow. And one of the girls on there, she got banned too just the other day. She has no idea why. Yeah.
Susie Steak. Yeah. Yeah. I know her. I talk to her all the time.
She's like, she has no idea why she got banned at all.
I love Susie. Yeah, I know. All she does is post soup stuff. I love her soup. And she had that slow-mo soup there the other day. Oh, my gosh. All the soup.
All of her. Yeah, where she stirs them all. Oh, yeah. I love it, too. I'm like, how did you get banned?
She's got another poll up right now for what new soup to make. And I'm telling everybody to vote for cheddar beer soup.
Ooh. Ooh, that sounds
So,
good.
I know.
Yes, if you love soup, follow her. I'll get that her new name.
Um,
It's like band steak.
currently the name is Eat Steak, but what's the
Eat band steak at Eat
band,
Band Steak.
Eat
She
Band
got,
Steak?
I think that's her, isn't it?
Hold on, let me look it up. Band Steak. Dang it.
Well, she's going to be on tomorrow. Yeah, free Susie. Oh, here we go. You did cheddar beer. Okay, so the choices are Italian wedding, split pea with ham, cheddar beer, or lentil. Yeah, I'm doing cheddar beer too.
Yep. At Eat Band Steak. Yep.
She's like a sweetheart. Like, why
I
did she
know.
get banned? She doesn't post anything raunchy either. Like, what the hell?
There's probably some reply somebody reported or something like my 12-hour the other day.
Yeah, they just catch something and then like,
because I was in the middle of a space when that happened, and all of a sudden it popped up on my Twitter app when I went to open up a tweet or something. It said, "Oh, you're locked out for 12 hours." Blah blah blah.
yeah, I've had that one. What did I get that one for?
I know some people have
I don't
gotten
know.
7 days.
Yeah, I think I had a 12-hour and a 7-day one. So maybe that's why I got like banned. Like maybe I've hit my limit and that's why they banned me. Whatever. Can't hold me down. Split pea. Yeah, chicken tortilla soup is very good. But that's not one of the choices. I just shared her poll. So go on my Twitter. I gotta fix my hair. What are you doing tomorrow?
For me?
Yeah.
Work. Got work tomorrow.
Work from home?
Yep. We were originally going to because we had this past Friday and Monday off, and then I took today off. We were going to get this upcoming Friday and upcoming Monday off as well, so 2 4-day weekends in a row. But like with what our situation going on, like, nope, sorry, you got to work Friday and Monday this upcoming weekend for New Year's. But we're still getting holiday pay for them, so it's double pay for those hours we're working and whatnot.
All right. Are you pretty good about working from home? Like, stay focused?
I'm so lazy. I can't lie about it. I'm like, what? Because I talk to people on the phone, talk with clients. I'm an accounts manager for a high level security company. Talking with existing clients on the phone, whatnot, all day, just making sure everything is working good for them, and whatnot. Just reaching out, keeping tabs on them, making sure everything's okay and kosher. But I'm on Twitter the entire time. I'm posting on Twitter, shit posting, talking to people, friends. I get so distracted. I'm so lazy, but yeah, I'm always in like the top marks in my department in metrics. I like if I actually applied myself, I might actually get somewhere. But I'm just so lazy and such a procrastinator.
Yeah, if it's getting by, it's getting by.
Right.
That's why I'm like, I could be marketing myself so much, and then I'm like, well, I could just be on Twitter having a good time. So
right, 100%.
Well, and I hate marketing with real estate marketing. It is so like I think half of it is like a violation of the NAP. Half of it like cold calling. I will not cold call or anything like that. So it's always like, fuck it at this point. And I used to volunteer all the time, but I'm not fucking doing that anymore because I'm either not allowed or I'm just making a stand at this point. So. Right, but I used to get a lot of business that way with volunteering. Shooting the Poop podcast. That's you too? Terrible tactical. Why do you have shooting poop?
That's kind of what we did on our first podcast. Just shoot the shit. I mean, I had stuff pulled up to want to talk about, but shooting shit's always fun.
What's your other Twitter handle again? Actually,
at actually blazed. Is my podcast. It's in the in the description of my main account too.
Got it. I got it. all us dorks. It's so fun to like. It is what shooting the poop. It is, however, a legitimate podcast show. Okay, shooting the poop podcast coming soon from Terribly Tactical. I love him because he's from Chicago. So like my whole family's from Chicago. We actually moved to Colorado when I was 6. So I grew up out here mainly, but like all my extended family. And he's got that Chicago voice, and I love talking with him. And he's all about the like, obviously guns and stuff because he works at a gun shop. But then like, then we'll get into the deep like what the fuck is going on kind of shit too. That's why he's great.
Yeah.
Like,
we got some good gun shops around here. There's especially if you and the husband there love Mr. Forrest Mommy love guns and Glocks. You know of Kenny McGill and Glock Store?
mm-mm.
Well, he's a famous instructor from like 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s till now. Been doing it for like 40, 50, 60 years. So, not that old, like at least 40 years. And he owns a store, sell exclusively Glocks, material, merchandise, everything Glock, and San Diego. But he recently opened one here in Nashville,
Okay.
called Glock Store. They have a website too. I've been there a couple times. And that one in Nashville has a full shooting range as well. You can go into.
Oh, nice. Okay. I need to
incredible.
I was thinking the other day, so like I decided I'm going to the Arizona Libertarian Conference just fucking to go and have fun because it's in Tucson, right? And it'll be warm and shit. So, and then I'm not legally married, everybody. He's just like, I'm married.
Sorry if I call him your husband if he's not.
No, you're fine. No, that's fine because I call him Mr. Forrest Mommy too. But it's just easier that way. But I'm not legally married, everybody, because of anti-government.
But you guys have been together a while, right?
Yeah, 12 years. We're basically.
You're practically married.
I'm the beneficiary, so whatever. What was I saying though? What was I saying?
Oh, you're going to the Libertarian Conference in Tucson.
Oh yeah, so then I'm like, I need to start traveling because if they start making domestic travel vaccine only, so I was like, I need to start. I'm gonna go. I kind of want to just travel everywhere for the next. I haven't gone anywhere really for the last 6 months.
I really hope they don't.
I hope they don't either because
I don't think the federal government, because Biden just said just like randomly, like, yeah, if COVID gets solved at a state level, there's no federal, plan anymore. I think he's just given up. I hope they're just going to stay out of it and let the states finally decide.
Well, our government, the Colorado governor, who's a dipshit, and he's not good. He's not a good person, but he said like, well, I can't tell anyone what to do. He's trying to get votes and stuff because he'll be up for vote this year. So everyone's like, well, it's good he said that. And I'm like, well, he ruined our lives for 2 years, so not really.
I don't think he's gonna. Yeah, he's probably just saying it to get votes, and then once he knows he's secure for another couple of years, he'll probably do some shit.
Yeah, he's the worst too. He's the worst. I've been with him. I've been hear him in person. Worst fucking person ever.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like the Tennessee governor, but he's been pretty good.
What's his name?
Bill Lee.
Lee. Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard too many people bitching too much about Tennessee.
Yeah, I love it. It's even the blue areas are fairly moderate, which is nice.
And Nashville's been growing like crazy, right? Nashville
has just exploded. I know tons of people, especially Twitter friends and mutuals, who are coming and moving to Nashville specifically. If they're not going to like Tennessee, or not going to like Florida or Texas or maybe New Hampshire or something, or like Wyoming or something like that. I wouldn't go to Wyoming. That's too far out there for me. But they're coming to Nashville, Tennessee.
I believe it. A lot of people are going there. There's a guy named Joe Morgan. I don't know if Joe's still here, but he's up in Idaho, and a shit ton of people went to Idaho recently. Boise, especially. Like, it's crazy. My business partner wants to go to Montana. Like, everyone wants out even of Colorado.
I heard they're pretty nice, but I got to be around stuff. As much as I like being out there in the middle of nowhere, I got to be around some stuff, Yeah,
at least like within an hour drive to like be able to go do stuff. Although in Colorado, so like I used to go dancing once a month, every month, and then it was at the gay club. And the gay club was the first people without any mandates to require vax passes to go to the gay club. And I was like, that is absolutely fucking retarded. Like, it makes no goddamn sense. So I haven't been dancing. I've been dancing once since March 2020. And then the club I went to that time, they went to vax pass too. Like, it's just so.
Right. I'm a terrible dancer. I can't dance.
I am too, but I love to just like get like when I'm like drinking a little and smoking a little, you know, it's like in the
Right.
like it was the most fun dancing I ever did. I met so many friends, and then now they don't. I'm like, if you don't want me around you, then fuck you. I'm not going to be around you. Like,
we got two clubs right that are right next to each other. Where I live, the city that I live in, 2 clubs.
Like pretty good dance clubs.
Yeah, one's like a rodeo bar. They change what they do every couple years. Like this most recent iteration is like a rodeo club with a bowl.
Hell yeah,
I love the other one's like a club with a hookah bar club. I've been to several of those in the past. I love hookah.
Hookah's fun. I love even the country bars. Like eventually, like at a certain point in night, they start playing like rap and shit too. Like they're like, yeah, just shake your booty. It's all good. Like that was the last. I did go country dancing a couple times this past summer out here, but everything's just so weird. Like I'm that kind of person with friends, with people, with anything. Like if you don't want to be around me, I don't want to push myself on you. So if all these people are like scared to be around me in any sense, then I'm like, I don't want to be around you. Like, fine. Like, it's fine. I don't want to be around you. So it's uncomfortable going out. Starlight Station in Greeley. Yeah, or the Stampede in Aurora. Have you ever been to the Stampede in Aurora, Stoner? That's the most fun. Going to a ladies' night and you get a little dance lesson in. I'm terrible at like line dancing, but it's fun to try.
At the club where close to I'm at, not the hookah, but the other one, it's a Thursday night. It's always ladies' night.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I used to go out so much. My life is so lame now. Now I'm going to libertarian conferences to have fun.
Yeah, when you get older and become a libertarian, you start getting lame and just sit on Twitter all day at home.
I told my mom today, she was like, she felt bad because I'm making a stand and not volunteering the stock show because my dad would volunteer with me. And she's like, well, and I told her, I'm like, well, I'm going to Arizona for a weekend at least to get out because I wasn't going to be able to go. And she's like, well, good. That's great. I'm like, it's so dorky though. I'm going to a libertarian convention. Like,
all the other libertarian dorks.
But it's fun. And I've met, I don't know if you follow Lauren. Do you follow Lauren Liberty on Twitter?
I think
look her up. She looks like kind of a pinup.
Yes, I do. Yeah, Miss Krampus von Liberty. Yep.
Yes. So she was. She came to Colorado. In Colorado in the summer in August, the National Libertarian Party put on because it's the 50th anniversary of the Libertarian Party. So they put a party on in Colorado and she came up. And so like we met, we had like a blast. And then I was like, well, she's going to that. She's in Arizona. So I'm like, it'll be just super fun. Get to meet some people. Jeremy Todd. I'll have to get Adam Kokesh. Hopefully Adam Kokesh is coming because I met him too. He came up and he's just, I don't know if you saw the whole ordeal he just went through. Like,
no, there's so much going on. I can't keep up with it all.
Well, he got arrested in Colorado for psilocybin mushrooms, but he had it in like pill forms, and they got him for like because he was giving it to, he's a veteran, so he gives it to PTSD veterans and stuff,
right?
And he's in Arizona, so he was in jail in Colorado for about a week, a little over a week, because he refused to post bail, and they had hurt him, and then they just dismissed all the charges and let him go. Like it was like great. So it's like great he got back, but he's a really cool dude. Like, I don't know. Did you know the Johnny Hurley story that happened in Colorado? Did you hear that name?
I may have. Refresh me on that.
So in downtown Arvada, Colorado, which is like a little 2-level brick, kind of like, it's just a little oldie downtown, but it's a suburb of Denver. And a mass shooter, a guy, like a real bad guy, came out. And he was on his way to kill where his wife or girlfriend worked. He was going to shoot everybody up. He ended up shooting a cop. He was going after cops. He shot a cop. Well,
Oh,
in the same area, there's a army surplus store, and this guy named Johnny Hurley was in this army surplus store, and he
yes,
heard the
he shot
shots.
the guy, killed him, and then
Yes,
the cop shot him. Yes, I remember
exactly.
now.
He ran
Yes,
out, and then they didn't release everything for 4 months until during the Rittenhouse trials when they released everything, because then they knew no one would be paying attention. But the cop who shot him, so Johnny had, we're all like, they were like, well, Johnny went and picked up the guy's rifle, blah blah blah, and like, so the video did show that Johnny did go over to disengage, to take the mag out of the rifle and stuff of the bad guy, and then that's when the other cop came and shot Johnny. But at the very same time, there was 3 cops in the area, suited up, everything. They didn't take out the guy. Johnny ran out in his t-shirt and Vans, like, and took the guy out. Like, this is the good guy. This is
right.
the good guy. So he was a big part of the organization called We Are Change Colorado, which we've kind of like, there's kind of some overlap with libertarians and stuff, because they're very like kind of anarchist and just like fuck the government.
Is that the same We Are Change that Luke Rudkowski started?
Yeah, it's part of that. It's part of We Are Change.
Okay.
Yes, it's that same group. So we have one in Colorado that Johnny was a big part of, and Adam Kokesh knew, and blah blah. So, and luckily, so I went to a rally for once they released all the info and said the cop who shot him got no slap on the wrist, nothing. He still has his job. So I went to a rally that they set up, and his friends were like the most beautiful people ever. Like, they're so peaceful, and they're like, George Floyd got shot, and then all those riots happened, right? And
Right.
here's a good guy, a literal good guy who saved the day and was killed by cops. And even his friends are very peaceful, and we're like, listen, like, we forgive you, but there's something that needs to happen. Like, this is not
Absolutely.
right. There's the training or something is not right. Like, you don't just show up shooting people. Like, that's not how you're supposed to be as a cop. And the other cops who were in the area at the time didn't do anything anyway. Like, so it's a crazy story. There's a guy, Ford Fisher. I don't know if you follow Ford Fisher on Twitter. He did a really good rundown of everything. And then Magnus, I don't know if you follow Magnus. He did a really good Substack on it
Magnus,
too.
yep.
Yeah, so they did really good. Once all the film came out and all the because there was all filmed. It's in this like downtown area there's plenty of film around. But the saddest part is that for 2 days after it happened, they didn't mention the good guy at all. They didn't mention Johnny at all, and it's really unfortunate that the cops and no one in America really knows about it. Like,
yeah, I actually heard about that story when it first, like within a day after it first broke. I saw it and I heard about it, and I'm like, man, that's crazy. That's messed up. But that happened to him, and But again, I'm hoping something happens to look into it and find out what happened. But obviously, we know now, and then cops, not going to get anything for it, and
Nope. He's he's been on the force 7 years. And we've had so in Arvada, we've had other cops. There was just like another $100,000 lawsuit because we have some really shitty cops that a friend of mine even knew. Was like, how did he become a cop? Like,
in Arvada, same place. Wow.
Same place. So like, it's just sad. It's just sad that it didn't get the attention that people literally were like. I mean, during the riots, I think 20 or 30 people died or something for George Floyd. Like, and no offense, the cops were sucky then. I don't know if that's exactly how he died.
Across the country, or just in Arvada?
Across the country.
I was about to say, that's a lot in one place.
Oh yeah, no, nothing happened in our. That's why they waited till the Rittenhouse trial to release the information, because they didn't want anything like that to happen. But then we're all so super peaceful and like we wouldn't have done that anyways. But like the whole George Floyd thing, it's like he was not a good dude. Like, he was already a criminal. If he held that woman at gunpoint at one point who was pregnant, and like if she had been armed, we would have ended it all then. Like, there's just all these but like here we have I would rather a whole world full of Johnny Hurleys than actual cops. And this, it's not like, like people like us who are like, we'll be armed and trained and like, but now I'm like, if you take out a bad guy, you basically have to lay on the ground. You have to lay on the ground and just like,
yeah, you have to. Or if you just take him out and then you're still there, Second later, they see you. Oh, he's got a gun. They'll just shoot you.
I'll just throw my gun and like lay on the ground, like I don't know. It's such a hard thing because that was literally what we all picture when we train with our guns and stuff. Like that's what we picture. And he stopped. Like this dude was like an actual mass shooter, bad dude, and it's like. But of course, I'm always like, then I'm like, oh, I wonder if the FBI had gotten to that guy before, and that's why he went and started to mass shoot. I don't trust shit anymore.
Like with like Whitmer and stuff.
All that shit, everything, like
one of like the lead conspirators of the whole Whitmer plot was part of the FBI. Was an FBI agent,
that's bullshit.
Undercover. Like they went out and looked for somebody they could rile up and have them do most of it, but they actually apparently planned a lot of it too.
Yeah, all this, like every time there's a shooting, there was a shooting here in Boulder, and I'm like, it happened right before some gun law shit was supposed to happen. So it's like it's just everything was weird about it.
Like, hey, we need to pass this law, or stuff like this is going to happen again.
Yeah, and it was all fucking weird. What kind of whiskey are you drinking, by the way? What kind of whiskey you drink?
Right. I'm mostly a Scotch drinker.
Okay.
But I love Scotch, but right now I'm drinking some Angel's Envy.
Okay. I heard that the other night. Someone told us that the other night. Angel's Envy.
It's a bourbon that is finished in port wine barrels. So it's got like a nice port wine, wine grapey, raisiny finish to it.
I don't know. That's what I was saying. I want to start sipping bourbon and stuff because that's like mature and like cool.
Bourbon.
So
if you like bourbon already, it's great. Because like getting into whiskey is like kind of difficult because once you actually start drinking a lot, you can actually
it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, the alcohol, the strong, high 40+%. It's hard to get into, but once you do, like you can discover all kinds of different whiskeys, different flavors in them. Most bourbons are like heavy brown sugar, honey flavor, very rough, mostly with the barrel spice because they use New York barrels. But like Scotch, I love Scotch and Irish because they're very light, floral, very honeysuckle, apple flavors, a little bit of hint of sea salt in some. And then you got really like heavy, handed scotches, the Isla scotches that are all peat and smoky. And some of those, like they taste and smell like a campfire, like a Band-Aid. And there's so many different nuance and flavors in them.
What's that? Macmillan or Macallan or something?
Macallan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Macallan Scotch. That's more of a middle ground, more of a lighter floral Scotch. I was actually gonna, once I finish this, if I'm thinking of having more, probably pulling out one of my scotches, my favorite one, and getting that. It's called Old Pulteney 12.
Oh, Heck said I heard her burn, and he's been drinking his bourbon the last week straight. He drinks, what is Heck drinks was that Jim Beam Black, I think is what he was drinking.
Jim Beam Black, that's not too bad.
I want to buy more. I love going to the liquor stores and just looking at everything, like the bigger ones. But I have some of that Bullet.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like literally every person I know on Twitter loves Bullet bourbon.
I just have some, so I was
it's a really good bourbon. It really is.
But it was like the day I was like, I'm gonna sip some bourbon tonight. I was just like, like it's so strong.
Bourbon is hard to get into. If you want to get into whiskey, I'd start with a very light Irish whiskey or a Scotch. Like start out with Jameson. Jameson's a good one. Powers. They're very light. They're not very inoffensive. They don't have a lot of that. Because a lot of what you're tasting probably isn't the alcohol, but like the barrel spice and tannins of the bourbon because they use fresh oak barrels as opposed to used ones like everybody else does. So it's hard to get down. I honestly don't like bourbon that much because of that. I like a nice, easier, smoother sip. So
Scotch is smoother.
Majority of them are very smooth. And even the ones that are very smoky are smooth. They just have that heavy smoke flavor to them because what they do is they smoke the barley with peat bricks before they distill it, and that smoke carries through.
Okay. Okay. There's a lot to learn. There's so much to learn. I know there's a handful of companies in Colorado that make stuff, so I'm always like,
Yep.
should
There's
try
I
them.
think Tin Cups one, and then there's another
Stranahan's is another. I think
Stranahan's.
that's
Yep.
whiskey.
Stranahan's.
What about post stoner? Do you drink the Stranahan's? He probably
I never
does.
had a Stranahan's, but but I heard they make a really good single malt.
I think you used to be able to like go to their go tour it and stuff, and it was fun. But he's like, no, Mad Dog 2020 grape.
Mad Dog.
I love it. He's like hardcore. I love it. I live close to the Coors Brewery, so like whenever people are in town, we go to the Coors Brewery. But it's lame. You don't have like a tour guide anymore. You have to like hold a thing to your ear, but you get a bunch of free beer during it, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
How you doing?
I'm fine. It's only 7:30.
I mean, I can keep going, but I will have to take another potty break.
I'm probably gonna have to take one too once we hit almost 2 hours.
Should we? Here, I'll sit here till 2 hours. I'm gonna force myself to sit here until 2 hours, and then we'll take a break.
If you have to go now, we can go now. But
no, let me finish this. Let me finish this beer first.
Right.
This is life now. Not that I used to go. I used to only go out like once or twice a month ever. But now I'm like, I can just sit in my room and drink and hang out with friends.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I would normally go out once or twice a month. Like I would usually go out like once a week, eat some food at a nice restaurant somewhere once a week, and then go out somewhere like a club or something with one of my friends twice a month, and then with my baby mama ex, when I was with her, we'd go out somewhere once a month, really nice too, or go do something fun aside from eating out once a week.
Yeah, you gotta go do like something once, like concerts, especially concerts with me out here, like Red Rocks concerts. But now I believe you have to be vaccinated to go to the Red Rocks concerts. So
that sucks. I haven't been to a concert. Last concert or festival was Lollapalooza 2009.
Damn.
It's been a long time. But before that, I was 15. Wait. Yeah, I was 15 then. Yep.
In 2019, in 2009?
2009, I was 15.
Nice.
My parents used to take me to concerts all the time. From 2000 all the way up to 2009, I probably visited 20, 30 concerts.
You have fun parents, huh?
Oh yeah, my father was a musician. He was in a band for 25 plus years, and everything. And they take me to, because I live in Indianapolis, so we had Ozfest every year. We had X Fest, which was put on by the local radio station X103. We go to the May Day every year, and then I would go to Card Day sometimes as well. I went to the Nine Inch Nails, so I saw Nine Inch Nails twice. Once in 2006, their With Teeth tour, then in 2009 when they were touring with Jane's Addiction for their Ninja concert tour.
Nice.
But yeah, my very first one was in 2000. I was 6 years old. Went to X Fest. They had Disturbed, Fuel. I think POD, Hinder was there.
Cute. So what year were you born?
94.
Yeah, so I'm exactly 10 years older than you.
Yep.
All right, let's go do it. I'm going to do a right break.
All right, let's do the break.
Let's do it. We're breaking. Gotta make sure I don't look too fucked up. Oh yeah. Post, have you been in Colorado forever, Post owner? I used to work for Nobody in Particular Presents, so I've been going to concerts since like forever.
My mom went to a Chevelle concert last year in Nashville. I love Chevelle.
How old was your mom again? You said she was like 30.
Well, she was 34 when the accident, but now she'll be 50 next year.
Okay. That's not old.
Right.
I'm so excited to be 40 because I'm gonna look like this. Hopefully, I hope.
And my family's always looked pretty young. People tell me I don't look like I'm almost 28, but I am.
Is your family still in Indiana? Your mom and dad and stuff?
My mom is in Kentucky. My dad passed away in 2014.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
It's all right.
Was it tragic or a disease or?
It was a disease.
We don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, he passed away in 2014. It was a disease. It was a thing we knew about, sort of, kind of before it happened, but right leading up to it, we knew what was happening and whatnot, and just passed away. Which I have a tattoo.
For your dad?
Or
is it his name or his years when he was born and died?
Yep. July 3rd, 1972, September 2nd, 2014, and that's his signature in his handwriting.
Aww.
I got that almost a year after 2015. Just wanted to kind of memorialize it. My sister has one for our grandmother, but she has like both dates, but they're on her shoulders right here.
Aww. It's very sad to deal with it with your parents. I haven't had to deal with that yet, and I'm like, my grandparents all died when I was super young, but my parents, thank God, and they even survived COVID. And yeah,
both my grandparents on my dad's side are still alive. Both his parents are, but on my mom's side, my grandmother passed away in 2011, but my grandpa's still alive.
That's nice. You have a lot of. I know. My focus goes all weird too.
Yeah. This is that cheap $20 Walmart one webcam. That was better than my $50 Logitech one.
That's what happens. Like I got a really nice microphone and it like lags so bad that I'm like, fuck it. I just use the Yeah. You're born in 72, Post owner. That's when my parents got married too.
Okay, yeah, that's my parents. Both my parents were born in 72.
He could be your kid, Post.
Could be, yeah. You'd have been 22 when I was born.
Were you raised in a religious family in Indiana? Were you guys religious? Not at all.
Not at all. My mother was raised Lutheran and my dad was raised Catholic.
And then they just didn't believe it. So
they didn't really care. They were just like, hey, I went to Sunday school a little bit as a little kid, but that's it. My parents were like, you're on your own, do your own thing, figure out your own path when it comes to that. We're not going to, they really didn't try to push hardly anything on me at all, really. They're pretty lax, chill parents. And
that's cool.
My dad went to Catholic schools growing up in Indianapolis. He hated it. That's probably one reason why he didn't push it.
Yeah, like once it's pushed on you, you're like, I ain't pushing it on anybody else. Like,
nope, not at all.
I grew up super Christian, of course. But even when I was young, I was kind of like I remember being 8 years old and they were like, God's always been there. And I was like, really? And I totally respect, and I like, especially with how things are now, I totally understand like people making the state their religion isn't good either. So I respect people who believe it and are into it, and I love it. My bestest friend is like a born again Christian too. And I'm like, I just can't. I went to Bible camp all my life, literally all my life, and I never had the belief. Like you either believe it or you don't. I don't know.
Yeah. Even now with knowing me and how I am, I couldn't try to get into or believe it because I know I'd be fooling myself and fooling other people.
Yeah, you're like
'Cause I
lying to
know,
yourself, kind of.
yeah, I'd be lying to myself if I've, try to be super Christian to get into it or whatever, you know.
You're a good person with that. Like, you're a good
Exactly.
person.
I
Yeah.
respect it, and I know that a lot of moral frameworks are based off of Christianity and religion, especially Western frameworks, and that's good. It's a good framework to abide by, but you can be a good person without necessarily believing in something, or having a religion in your life.
Yeah, like I think I've always been a really I mean, I've broken a few hearts and I'm not perfect, but like I feel like I've been a really good person, even though that was the whole thing with my family why I moved out young, because they were like, especially about sex. I'm like, I want to fucking have sex. Like, come on, like this is stupid. All these rules, like that's
That's my
literally
big right, yeah, because like everybody, I love having sex and doing stuff like that, and you know having all these rules and having to do this and that, and it's like I just want to be me and live my life. I don't really care. I'm also a person where I need evidence or something to prove something to me in some way. I got to know for sure if it's real or not as well.
exactly, especially with like all this COVID shit. That's why it's been so like easy to not believe it. Because I'm like, no, actually, the data doesn't like. You're wrong.
Right.
Sorry. To Ohio from college. Christian. You went to Christian school till 4th grade. Fun post. Fun. I can't
Yeah.
believe it. I went to public school and I turned out okay. Thank
Yeah.
God.
I went
But
to public school too. I went to 3 different high schools.
in
Yeah.
Indiana.
Yep. I was in the same school district from like 3rd grade to freshman year. Moved, went to a different school, then I drove back to my other one my junior year, and then I went to a completely different one my senior year. I graduated. Public school is all right for me. I mean, I
Me
wasn't
too.
like corrupt. I think
So my
public
mom
school,
was
like,
even a public school teacher.
I think now public school is terrible, but maybe 10 years ago wasn't so bad.
Shit changed for sure. Yeah, because I haven't talked to my mom because my mom was a teacher and my sister still sort of is. And like, shit changed. But so my sister was telling me the story on Christmas. So she's like a part-time teacher right now. And she was saying there are parents who are saying that you have to, there are some parents saying that you have to, well, let me put this person in timeout. Or I could block them. I guess I could just block them. Sorry.
That's
There's
all
been
right.
this ad going on. Okay. Parents were saying, because when my sister went back to school after the shutdown, she said, holy shit, there's all these, well, she didn't say shit because she's a good Christian girl, but I said holy shit after she told me. But she was like, all these kids showed up to school with like looking like cats. They like were all dressed up as cats and animals. And then they
Were
were
they
telling
wearing any
me,
furry costumes?
not total furry, but they were like doing
Okay.
the whole
Like the cat
ears and
ears
everything.
and the tails.
Yeah,
Okay.
which whatever, that's fine if you want to do it, but like they're letting a like you don't let them do it all the time. Whatever. I'm not a parent, so I can't say it. But they're like, then she said they were saying that some of these parents were complaining and saying, oh, to like you have to put a litter box in the bathrooms. Like
Like,
to
this is
help.
my kid. They're a cat. We have litter box at the house for them. You need to accommodate them with these litter boxes at the school.
I'm like, I'm all about like letting kids adventure and play make believe, but
That's
like,
just weird.
yeah, what is going on? I know it's the online stuff, but
Public school, and just like it's just absolutely crazy, and all these teachers and people, and just all this stuff with like CRT and like gender and all this crazy stuff and identities, and it's all this leftist wokeness stuff that they're pushing in school. It's just absolutely insane.
and it's like, why? Like, why? Just teach them the fucking facts of shit. Like, why do you
You got to make
have
them
to be an
feel comfortable.
activist?
You got to make them feel comfortable and included, and you have to teach about all that too, and how, you know, I don't
I
know.
can't.
It's
It's
just
so weird, especially seeing like my mother when she was a teacher. It was very much these are the things we teach. Like, and even my mom, I remember went out of her way, and obviously Colorado, especially where my mother taught, my 6th grade class, we had 13 people in it. It was this tiny hick school, and my mom was a teacher, and like we went and bought remember on the weekend she bought like extracurricular stuff to teach actual slavery things and stuff like that, like the actual history of it. But now they're like, now it's just weird now. Like it's just weird. I don't know why. I guess it's the Marxist shit. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, a lot of it Marxist CRT, the what's it called? Gosh, like queer theory and agenda too, and all that stuff. It's just all leftist wokeism just seeped in academia and schools, because a lot of them were in colleges initially, and then they started teaching these would be teachers, and now they're taking what they've learned and been brainwashed, and they're now teaching now over the last couple 10 15 years. They're now teaching now finally, and they're actually
yeah,
brainwashing these kids to think these things. That's just what's going on for the most part at a base level.
there's this really good. Who is it? Let me see if I can find this post. Someone made such a good post the other day. Conspiracy Bot. I don't know if you follow him.
Probably conspiracy bot. Let me look them up.
I'm streaming. I suppose I shouldn't. Oh wait, no, I'm not.
Oh, okay, there we go. I'm not following conspiracy bot, but no, I am.
He made such a good post the other day. Where is it? It's just last night. So it should be. But it's basically, yeah, just about like academia ruined intellectual, academia ruined like learning, and everything's just ruined everything basically. I don't know if I'll find it right now. I need to I shared it, but I should reshare it. Damn it. Now I'm mad. Now I'm wasting time looking for it. Sorry. It was so good though. Forget. But anyways, but it was just like, yeah, how they've taught in school and colleges, like, and this weird thing that we've all had this year where they're like, don't look up information on your own. Don't do your own research. And it's like, isn't that why you went to college? To like learn and like do your own research?
Expand your mind, yeah. But
so,
there's
super smart people. Yeah, super smart people don't look up information. They don't do their own research. And I'm like,
they really need to. Everybody needs to do research. I mean, even if I think I know something, even if I think I know the answer, I'll probably be like, hey, let me just look it up. I don't know I'm right. Or if I'm wrong, or if I don't know, I'll definitely look it up. Or if somebody proves me wrong and says, hey, look at this. It's, like, well, yeah, I'm wrong, but now I know.
Right. Like, just when did it become... I even had friends who were actual friends on my Instagram, because I lost a lot of friends. I stayed on Instagram and I lost a lot of friends there. I barely post there anymore. But like, these people are like, oh, you're doing your own research. You shouldn't do that. You should just... And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So super smart people don't do their own research, and they just do what they're told. And dumbasses do their own research. That's where we're at now. Like,
right.
Okay, like, okay, I guess.
I think
like, that just seems so
they're
silly
getting
to me.
sort of the thing to where, oh, if you do your own research, you're probably going to end up finding something that's completely wrong. It's some stupid conspiracy theory. And so, oh, you're going to be even more wrong about whatever, something, or,
Right. But it's like, well, there's some things we can actually know. We know about ourselves. We know we're just... it just makes me so mad. The whole world has just gone fucking... To see people I knew who I respected go fucking stupid, I just can't anymore. Like,
right.
I don't get it.
Just like post owner down there said, you should always be learning and asking questions. 100% right.
Always. Like, why? How are people... I just don't understand how it turned into that. Like, we have this whole internet at our fingertips, and people...
That's what the internet's for.
Here's this post. I'm going to read this post real quick. So this is from Conspiracy Bot. We now live in a nation where doctors destroy health, lawyers destroy justice, universities destroy knowledge, governments destroy freedom, the press destroys information, religion destroys morals, and our banks destroy the economy. And I was like, oh, that's such a good post. It's so
Yes.
true. It's so true. That's why I love Post. Yeah, that's like and Post loves hanging out, watching my YouTube streams. You can always learn shit. Everyone's got. I'd rather learn from you than like anyone else. You know, like
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm getting a little fucked up.
I mean, like, learn from me.
Yeah, I mean, like you probably have more things to teach me. So that's the whole thing with yoga. The whole namaste means
Namaste. Yeah.
it means the teacher in me honors the teacher in you, and that's like the whole
Okay.
point of it is like you can learn things from other people. Other people,
Exactly.
everybody's life is different from yours, so you can always learn from other people. Like that's the whole thing. And then now, like my yoga teacher's like, no, you have to get a vaccine to come to yoga. So. It's so stupid.
Right.
I can't
Everybody,
do it.
yeah, exactly. Because you're right. Everybody can teach somebody something. Because there's going to be some person out there who's going to know things you don't, and you're going to know things they don't. And you have to be willing to learn and accept that, and also be willing to teach as well.
Exactly. Like the whole. Did you follow the Jack Murphy drama at all? I don't know if you followed any of that.
Sorta.
It was so dumb. It was so dumb.
I mean, he was like that years ago, and whatever.
Whatever.
I
Yeah, the whole thing is whatever. It's old, but all these people keep bringing it up, and I'm like, have you
That's just how the
guys
internet
even hung
is.
out with?
Especially there's drama about something every week or every day. Especially like in with like Liberty Twitter, like 90% of people always fighting with each other over some dumb drama, and then they got these stupid posts like Drew had the other day about taking more than one. He takes more than one shower a day. You know, and some stupid stuff like that is always
about
funny.
it. Yeah, it is stupid. Like that kind of shit.
Stuff like that's kind of funny and whatnot, but then there's more serious stuff. It's just stupid. Like why?
Well, and it's like people should just like instead of being like having their initial McAfee's dead, but he's still fucking on my computer. So like people like something that they don't even know about, and then they just like have this instant opinion on it, which that's fine, but then they'll talk about it like over and over and over and over and over for fucking ever, and it's just like you don't even know anybody. You don't even know, like, you don't even know anybody who does that kind of shit or whatever. Like with the Jack Murphy shit, especially, has been funny to me. Like the people I see still talking about it, I'm like,
I mean,
okay.
I've delved into it a little bit more, and I'm just like, just more drama, more grifting, more clickbaiting with it too, and it's just. I like it because like with me, I like everybody on all sides, and like, so what if you've done this or that, as long as you're not an absolute piece of shit. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it's that simple. I'm trying to get to my chats, but I have a McAfee protection thing in the way. Yeah, that's the thing. That's how I've always been in all of my life. It's like I've always been drawn to people who are different to me, and then as long as we're just nice to each other and can get along, it's just fun to learn about people who are different. And I don't know, but the internet can't handle that things. And then I have my own opinions on some of that stuff too, where I'm like, okay, people, like, oh yeah, pineapple on pizza, let it go. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking Liberty Twitter. Luckily, with my new account, I'm like not seeing any drama at all lately, so that's cool.
Good. Start following some people. You might. I've
already muted some people.
I've already got over 1,000 followers. I need to really trim them, but a lot of those people like I want to follow, but I need to like reduce how many people I'm following because all the crap on my Twitter. Like I don't get those accounts. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Have like 20,000 people they follow. I know the algorithm kind of tailors it to who you interact with the most, obviously, but like that's a lot of people and posts that can potentially pop up on your timeline.
Yeah, I think I followed like 5,000 on my Forest Mommy. I'm trying to get more. I just because I like reading what people have to say and shit.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Where am I at now? I think this account isn't getting hit yet because I had made it a while ago. I'm almost at 5,000.
I've got aside from my Actually Blaze podcast, I have 2 other alts, but
Ooh,
those are just kind of
look at you,
backups.
sneaky.
They're backups. Yeah, I won't go into those. I don't do anything on them really, but I don't go into those.
Well, like you have to nowadays because if you can get banned for
Mm-hmm.
fucking nothing, so
Yep.
I don't know, man. Fuck it. How old's your oldest kid? You say your youngest is 3 months.
Mm-hmm. My oldest will be 4 next month, January.
Okay. They're fun. That's fun ages. Still baby. 3 months. That's like baby. That's
Oh yeah.
baby. I'm reading that. Are you snacking? Were you snacking on something?
Oh, saltines.
Oh, that's probably smart.
I'm boring and lame. I eat boring, lame stuff.
No, you're not boring and lame. Come here. It's always made me laugh how many people followed me, and then like people, I'm like, I'm kind of fucking boring and normal. Like,
I feel like the same. I feel like I'm boring, but I'm also really weird at the same time. Why do people even like me?
but they do, and it's fun to like people, you know, who are cool.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Also, the pineapple on pizza thing. I don't like pineapple on pizza at all. Ugh.
It's not my favorite. Mr. Forrest mommy likes the Hawaiian sometimes, but I get my own, so it's all good.
Good.
We are all weird. Yes, we are all weird. That's what I was trying to say yesterday. Like, I made such a like normal comment on something yesterday on Twitter, and someone shared it and like had this like 8-tweet rant about it, and I'm like, you know what? We're all weird, but there are some people who are really fucking weird. like we're doing all right. We're doing all right.
I like to post whenever somebody says they like pineapple on pizza. I said people who like pineapple on pizza belong in the gulag.
What? Just don't eat the pineapple on the pizza if you don't like the pineapple on the pizza. I don't know. Is it that hard? Was it that hard? When is the Tennessee Libertarian Convention? Do you know? By chance?
Oh, I should probably know this. I may actually go. Tennessee.
Well, you don't.
Let me look it up.
Okay.
Events. Here we go. From LP Tennessee. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff coming up, like weekly region meetups. I don't know.
It doesn't say a convention on it.
I typed that in, Tennessee Libertarian Convention, but
maybe they don't have it organized yet.
I see one from last year, but let's see.
Like ours,
the
one
Colorado last year
one isn't up.
The one last year was in early January, so it might be in January this year.
Oh, damn. Well, I was thinking I'm going to the Arizona one in January, and then Colorado's is in March. So I was like, maybe I should find one to go in February, and then April, right. And then the national one is in Reno in May. So
Reno. I don't know. I may.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vintage Moments. That your thing got banned. Did you make a new one yet? You would go if you can go to. They're kind of fun. So this year I've never been involved in anything, and in May of 2021 I ended up going to the Colorado one. It was right down the road, so I was like, I'm gonna go, and I went. Nice. But I didn't really know anybody there. But I went to the stuff, and then since then I've met a ton of people and like made a bunch of friends since then. So It's been great.
I was wanting to take a trip to either Florida or Texas this year. Because I may move to one of those 2 states if I don't stay in Tennessee. And I kind of picked Texas to go to instead, but I'm kind of leaning back towards Florida right now. It's going to be like in late spring next year.
I wish I would have went to the Tom Woods thing. That would have been fun to go to.
Oh, lots of people went to that one.
Yeah, everybody went. I was laughing because right before then, Anthony Samaroff. Do you know who Anthony is? He's a Scottish guy.
Don't think I know.
But we had come out here and we hung out, and then like he's actually like written a book, and he's like actual like, you know, he's actually made shit. And everybody was like, "Oh, you were hanging out with Forrest, mommy." That's like, I laughed so hard at that. Space Viking 3, that's suspended too. Do you have another?
What?
What's your other one? Sorry, I'm watching
Space
the chat.
Viking? That's suspended?
Yeah, on the same day as me, apparently. They must have
Oh,
had
is
some
that Vintage
Christmas.
Moments?
Yeah. They must have had some shit going on Christmas. Why were these people fucking around on Christmas with the algorithms? Like, come on. You could go to Texas and work for the Blaze. I know a producer for the Blaze, so he follows a lot of us Twitter people. He's a really cool.
I followed you back, Space Viking. I remember I just followed you back recently.
The Space Viking. Okay.
The Space Viking 3, yep.
The Space Viking.
Yeah, Grim, I'll come to Texas maybe.
Texas is cool. I've been to Texas once and it was nice. But it was Austin. And I know Austin's kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I know a lot of people, and especially people from Twitter who live in Texas and Florida.
A lot of people move there too. And in May they do the Childerberg in Texas, which is kind of in Austin. I wanted to go to that, but I think it's at the same time as the National Convention, so I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll see.
Probably. What's the Childerberg again?
So they like rent out a campground as camping, basically.
Okay.
Do you follow Timeline Earth, guys? Bird and Carr.
I don't think so.
They used to be Fadcast, and then they turned into Timeline Earth. They're good to follow. So Timeline, whatever you do on your podcast, look for Timeline Earth. They're cool. But they go to it, and then like some other people do too. I think even Robbie went there this last year, but it's camping, so it's kind of like fun. But
camping's fun. My parents used to always.
I think they have a
camping.
Twitter. Childerberg is like a Twitter, I think too.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll look them up. Yeah, my parents
wanted
used
to
to
go
always
to
take us
that,
camping. Kids, that sounds fun.
You're a camping growing up?
Yep, tons. My parents always take us camping. We'd go canoeing on the rivers in Indiana. A lot. There was one time where we, I was probably like 6 or 7 maybe. We went canoeing down the river, and then off the river there was an old like sawmill house or something that we went in that was old and run down and haunted or something. Then they would always go, canoeing down the river some more, and then set up spot camping somewhere.
That's like real adventuring. I like that.
Yeah. And that was in Indiana too. I like that. Wasn't really like in the middle of nowhere either.
Shit.
But there's some nice spots in southern Indiana to do that with.
That's fun. We grew up. My parents, when we lived in Chicago, would take us camping, and then we moved to Colorado, and they're like, "Nope, you're on 10 acres of a fucking forest at the mountain.
This is camping. Camp out here somewhere."
We live in camping world, so.
Right. Just go set up a tent out in the backyard. You're fine.
And we did. We used to we would set we had a pop-up camper, or we had tent camp just in our forest, because
we lived on 4 acres.
Now I wouldn't, because so when we first moved out there wasn't as many people living out there, but now there's more people living out there, and there's more bears. There's like a shit ton of bears now. And I don't know if you heard this story did you hear my story about my dead dog? Did you read this story?
I don't think so, no.
I had buried it. So I buried my dogs on our forest property in a casket, a wood casket, and sealed shut. And the last dog I buried out there, I buried her she passed away in 2019, March 2019. So buried her out there. Well, this last summer, 2021, a bear went and we buried her way down in this casket. A bear came and dug her up, and
2 years later?
2 years later, broke into the casket, pulled her out of the casket, and then just like left her there and left, because apparently like if you put dogs down, it's a poison, so like, but what the now I'm gonna kill any bear that comes. Like there's a ton of them.
Like, how the fuck would it know it was there?
I don't know, because it was was 2 years, and I'm like, well, she did have a big like fatty, like it did smell bad. I was like, luckily I didn't have to take care of it. I was like, okay, yeah, they pulled her out of the fucking casket. Like, can you please take care of that? Like, I was like, what the hell? 2 years later, this bear, and there's plenty of food around. We had a good summer. Like, what the hell was it thinking? But I'm pretty sure it was a bear and it wasn't something else. Because, like, I can picture a bear, like, breaking how they kind of, like, they're just big. Like,
right.
I'm like, this is where I want to live. I'm like, but the more people that have moved down there, and I used to work for I still kind of volunteer with a land conservancy down there, and we conserve a shit ton of land, and we protect all these like wildlife corridors. So there's just so much like bears and mountain lions down there.
Right. And they're not being hunted or kept in check either.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like there is bear hunting allowed in Colorado and stuff, but like, they know, they're smart. They're like, we're going to go to like the yuppies who have their garage doors open, and we can go get the garbage and shit. Like, but what the hell? Like now I'm having an enemy. So I'm like, I want to get a trail camera for next summer and put it up and be like, who the
You get cameras up around the property too?
We don't have any yet. We have like just the ring on or like a front door camera, but nothing picked up.
Yeah,
anything.
I'd get some to put around something cheap, or like even the Arlo cameras or whatnot, just to keep track of stuff, or so even more like actual
vintage. Is it have a conservation easement on the property? That's what I specialize in. I don't know if you have that, but yeah, it's pretty cool. That's the one thing about Colorado. So it started growing like crazy, but there's some really pretty areas. And I grew next to this ranch that was a 2,000 acre ranch, and it was going to get developed. Like it was going to turn into houses and all that. And then they ran out of money in the 2008 crash. And then the county bought it in like 2015. And then the land conservancy I work with, we put an easement. So it'll never be built up, which is pretty cool. And there's trail. I mean, it's government. I'm supposed to be anarchist and not about this shit, but whatever. People can go hike.
It's the reality of today. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's another thing I see, especially like hardcore anarchists and ANCAPs and libertarians on Twitter. Like they're just in their own little head about some things, and you just got to realize this is a situation. Government is not going away anytime soon, unfortunately. So you just have to kind of work around it or work with it if you have to, and unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's the thing with why I felt better about being on this land conservancy is private landowners decide to put these easements on their property, and it's their own money, and they it's their choice to say, hey, I own this property now, and I don't want anyone to ever build on it ever, so I put this thing on it. But whatever. Are you done?
I'm not done.
Okay.
Just because I yawned doesn't mean I'm done.
I know. Well, I don't want to keep you up too late. But you're only an hour. You're only an hour ahead.
It's only 8:00 here. Yeah. Normally I stay up late, but I don't know what's going on today.
You slept in late. It makes you tired. Oh, here's David. David popped on finally. So David's who comes over and streams with me.
Nice.
He was my very first Twitter friend I made in real life.
Nice.
And then we made a huge group, and it's been really fun. So
awesome.
Vintage, yeah. If there is an easement on the property, they get really pissy if you build outside the building envelope and stuff like that. If there's an easement, that's so interesting. That's why I love like real estate and like deeds and all this shit, because that's what conservation easements are. When you put it on your property, it's like a deed, and then people have to like, oh yeah, we didn't go to Fat Shack. Sorry, post. We'll go to Fat Shack next week, and we'll live stream from there. Apparently, there's this restaurant. There's this restaurant that like has all this fried food that David's told me about, and the post owner was talking about, and I'm like, okay, we'll go live stream from one.
That reminds me, I may get hungry here soon.
More than saltines.
More than saltines and whiskey, right? I don't know if I want to make something here. I don't know if you been following my Twitter, but I usually make food and post food. Last night I made my famous honey bacon honey chicken bacon mac last night.
Ooh, that sounds
It's really
good. It does sound
Yeah.
good.
A lot of people don't like the fact that I put honey in my mac and cheese.
Well, that makes sense. Like it makes sense at a certain. Yeah, don't feel you can. We can stop so you can go eat too if you want at any
No,
point.
we could probably go like almost 3 hours. It's only 2:30 right now. It's up to you.
Okay, I'm good. I got nothing else to do. I just drinking and doing drugs, so whatever. Like,
Same.
fuck you, but yeah. So there's this fat shack that deep fries like anything. And David, I don't know if you follow Spirit Llama. Do you follow Spirit Llama on Twitter?
I don't think so.
He's kind of deactivated a couple times. He might not, but he's on right now. But that's David who comes over. So there's this really good restaurant that deep fries like fucking everything apparently. So, and I love like
Followed him.
love it. There's a restaurant that just opened by me that's like Nashville hot chicken, but I don't know if it's like the
Oh yeah,
real
Nashville hot
Nashville.
chicken's good.
Is it good?
It is. Hell, Buffalo Wild Wings has a Nashville hot chicken a sauce now. Hot Nashville hot sauce is pretty good. Also, it reminds me, there's a restaurant that just recently opened back up where I live. It's like a Cajun Louisiana style restaurant, sorta, and they have like a killer shrimp bisque soup. It's amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah, they burned the restaurant burned a bit. Part of it burned down last year sometime. So they've been rebuilding this whole past year and a half, and they're
And they're
finally
open
opening
now.
it. Oh yeah.
Where the Nashville hot chicken went in, where I'm at, is there was a really good taco place there. So I was pissed off, but the shutdowns made that place close, and then this Nashville hot chicken place come in. I was like, God, but whatever. Everything
Nice.
is how it is.
Yeah. It's just crazy seeing lots of stuff get shut down, places you remember, especially lately, the past couple of years.
Well, and restaurants are difficult. I mean, restaurants have a huge failure rate, anyways, because
They do.
it's just a
Especially the mom
hard
and pop
thing.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and then that's what's been so sad, and that's what's made it seem so nefarious. Where it's like, what are y'all trying to do? Like, what do you?
All
Why
these
are we?
small businesses and everything.
Yeah, and then you want them to do all takeout with all this plastic shit. I thought we just like banned fucking plastic straws. And
Right.
now we're like, like now we're sending all this plastic shit out. Like, how does that make any fucking sense? Like,
You know, I'm gonna order me some Chipotle.
to get delivered to your house right now.
Get door dashed.
Bless the internet. I'm all about. I do Grubhub all the time.
Grubhub.
Yeah, I love it.
We probably got Grubhub around here, but I just use DoorDash. Or actually, with Chipotle, I just use the Chipotle app, and then they source it through DoorDash. It's a little bit cheaper than if I use regular DoorDash.
That's how the Chinese place we always are from. They're like, you can just order from us directly. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
There's this one Chinese Chinese buffet / hibachi grill that you can go to where I live. I get food from there all the time. They're really good.
And they'll deliver.
Yeah, using DoorDash. Yeah,
I love it. I love tipping. I love tipping the people. Like, I love that shit. That was one thing. Like, because both me and like my job was fine this last year, and then my partner's job was fine. So it was always like, oh, let's tip everybody, and like, it just feels good. I am a good cook. I do love to cook, but I also love to order in. But I love to cook. The only problem is Mr. Forrest Mommy doesn't like onions, and I love like starting every meal with onions. So
I don't like onions either. I like the onion flavor. I'll put onion powder and stuff. I just don't like onions themselves too much.
I get it. It makes him like actually physically sick, so I get it.
Really?
But, like,
that's unfortunate. He allergic to onions?
I think it's like an allergy or something like that. But I am a cook. I love cooking. I cook a lot. Well, I should cook more, and then once the grocery stores got weird about masks and shit, I wasn't going to them as much, so I wasn't cooking as much, but whatever. Is it still raining there?
No, wait. No, I think it's passed. I don't hear any raining right now, but let me check. See what the radar says. Yep, it's all passed. We're good.
All good.
We're good.
I don't think we have any weather. We have Colorado has been so other than wind, we've had like no weather.
Really.
I hope
This
it does
past year in
snow.
Tennessee was actually really good. Not a whole lot of rain. Actually, didn't get too hot during the summer either. Normally, I get up in the low mid 90s, but it stayed mid upper 80s. It was pretty cool this summer.
And was it humid?
Not really, a little bit, but not as much as normal, which is good. And I love the falls and winters here. Well, a little bit in like March and February, it'll get pretty cold a little bit, but throughout the year, like in November, October, November, December, early January, it'll get maybe low of 30. It'll
That's
stay
when
highs in the
I was
50s,
in
40s.
Nashville literally on Halloween because I remember we went out on Broadway and all that on Halloween. That's when it was like a little chilly, but it's only like it felt a little more chilly because it's a little more humid there. But it wasn't cold. It wasn't too bad there.
My favorite time of year is like fall and spring and winter because I get to wear my favorite outfits with my jackets and my jeans and stuff.
You don't like wearing shorts and stuff?
And I'll wear shorts in the summer and t-shirts, but I mean, I like them. It's just I don't like the too much of the heat, and then I'm just sweating with the humidity if it's getting humid. Just I'm sitting in my car sweating with the AC. And I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's nice about Colorado is just like it is not like it's not humid here, and like well, it'll be like barely humid, and we'll complain, but it's like otherwise it's just like, but it does get like. My cousin from Indiana will come out and he's like, the sun is like it's so harsh, because we're at such a higher elevation and stuff. But it does get kind of hot out here in the summer. Although we had a pretty good year this year too. We just need more moisture.
Right. Indiana summers can get pretty warm too. 80s, not too humid, which is nice, but they'll get pretty warm. 80s, 90s even sometimes.
That's nice. I mean, humidity is not terrible because it's like then you don't have to, whenever I go. So my parents have a place in Wisconsin, and like I don't have to use lotion there ever. Like it's great.
Nice.
But out here in Colorado, it's just like it's so dry. It's like it's a desert. When they get weird about masks, yeah, you get weird back. I don't do anything. I do definitely a lot less. I definitely try to get my man to go to the grocery store more than me because I haven't been since the last mask mandate, which went in about a month ago in my county.
Really?
And I went to the rally for it and all that. And then, but I haven't been wearing a mask in my grocery store. No one said shit. So
Tennessee, the majority of Tennessee and myself included stopped wearing masks in like November of 2020.
As I should.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, Colorado was good about it this whole year, like this whole summer. If you wanted to wear it, wear it. If not, great. Like whatever. And then they put this in my county. They put it back in a lot of the metro counties. They put it back in. But I haven't been doing it. And I only go to the grocery store, my tanning salon. The lady there doesn't give a fuck. And she's the owner. The liquor store, they don't care. The pot store, they do care. They make me do it at the pot store. But like, I don't do anything. But the grocery store, I love it because I wear high-heeled shoes. I usually wear like higher-heeled shoes when I go there because I'm like, who's gonna fucking mess with this like tall blonde walking around? So no one does. In Idaho, they're done. Joe Morgan, that's good. Everything is so stupid. This is so stupid. Were you sick at all over the last 2 years?
I was, but never tested positive for COVID. Like in June of last year, 2020, I was just sick in bed, just dying for 2 weeks straight. Just the worst feeling sick, since I was a little kid that I had. I had a fever for 3 days straight, body aching for a whole week, had a real bad cough, headaches, nausea, whatever. But yeah, tested 3 times negative, and that whole month and a half, 2 months after being sick, I had just this dry cough I couldn't get rid of. But I tested negative, and every time I've been tested, I've always tested negative. And I had a similar sickness in mid-November very similar to what I had last year, too. And didn't last quite as long, wasn't nearly as bad, but I tested negative again. So just something.
Well, because humans can still get sick. That's
Yeah,
what's like just so messed up. Everything is so messed up now. People are like literally
probably
fucked
was
in
the
their
flu.
heads. Yeah. Well, they were saying they were like, oh yeah, now, which we all knew this way back when, but now they're like, oh well, we were probably considering COVID cases, like flu cases. We were
Yeah, because
marking them
some of
COVID.
those tests, they can't tell the difference if it's COVID or flu.
Yeah.
They just know it's positive for something like that. So
And some of the case during the when they were doing like the really strict track and trace, they would just like if you were just around someone and they called you and you were like, yeah, I kind of have a sniffle.
right.
That was a case.
Oh,
Like,
you're positive. You need to quarantine. But
yeah,
I haven't
like,
been tested. No, just go ahead and quarantine. You'll be fine.
and the sad part is the sheep, even now, because I remember I said something like midsummer 2020 on my Instagram, and people were like, ah. And like, even now they're coming up with stuff, and I'm like, I don't even think they'll admit they were wrong, the people who believed all this. Because that's what I remember I said something like, now listen, if you tested positive for strep, and then you died in a car accident a week later, do you think strep should be listed on your death certificate? Because
No.
that's what was happening with COVID.
Right.
And they were like, no, that's not happening. And I was like, yes. And in some places it was up to 60 days. If you died within 60 days of a COVID positive test, COVID went on your death certificate. Like,
It's ridiculous. And they inflated the numbers quite a bit with that for sure.
but yeah, the numbers are fucked up. And then we're in 2 seasons now, and we're still combining all the numbers. Like, it's. I remember a long time ago I sang a song when it was at like 200,000. I sang a song for Twitter, and I made a song. Like, and now we're at what, like 700,000 or whatever. But I've still never been officially tested, so I'm
Really?
gonna go. I'm going as long as I fucking can, and I'm pretty sure I had it. So because I had one day where I could tell, because I usually know when I'm like, I know when I'm sick. I just know. And like, I had one day where like my nose, which my nose is kind of always runny, but like my nose was like a little bit more runny, and I felt a little bit something. And then my friend had tested positive, and I was with him like 4 days earlier. And then I've had the taste and smell stuff. So I was like, I probably had it, but it just didn't.
Right.
I'm healthy, and it didn't really fucking do anything to me.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's good. You got that natural immunity now.
but that was just the first variant or whatever. So,
Right.
'cause that was September 2020. But my
Apparently,
dad, oh, go ahead.
I was saying apparently Omicron, some studies now, apparently it's less deadly than Delta.
My dad and mother got it really bad in October 2020. They didn't need the hospital, but they were sick. They were really sick. My mom especially. They're not. My mom's not a healthy person overall, but they made it through. And my dad has to give blood, and he goes to the doctor all the time. And he still has like a shit ton of antibodies from October 2020 now, and he's a 70-something-year-old man. Like,
Good.
yeah, like they're just like ignoring that there are people who are just like this, like it's just, I don't
Right.
get it. Hi Jacob, sorry, we're ending at 3 hours tops today, I think, because Blazed is like, got food. Is your food on the way?
I haven't even ordered it yet. We've been
Order
talking.
it. You should order it. You can order it while we talk.
Where is it? There it is.
I need to get me a 43X, man.
Yeah, it's right here. I'll show it again if people want to see it.
No, that's what my business partner has too. They're great. Do you have, is your little case you put it in, is your like little carry thing?
Well, I got a holster. This is
belt holster.
It's a appendix carry.
Okay.
I carry like this on me. It's the from the Glock store, what I talked about earlier in Nashville. It's literally called the $35 holster.
And it works out good.
It's $35. It's a Kydex holster. It's really minimal. It's great. I love it. It's probably the best holster I've ever had.
So I
like the holster simple.
I don't often carry on me because I don't have a great holster, but I'll carry the Glock 27, which is a 40 caliber. But I'm like, whatever, it's a smaller gun, technically, obviously a bigger caliber, but that's what I've been carrying, but I've been wanting the 43X really bad.
Right.
Because that's 9mm, right?
Yep, it's 9.
Yeah.
100%.
Shit. Yeah, David, by the 12th dose, after 15 doses, it'll be all good. All good.
Absolutely.
Did you order your food? We can go. Are you ready to go? If you're ready,
It's up to you. I'm perfectly fine continuing. My food won't be.
I'm the same way. I can just keep shooting the shit about whatever.
My food won't be here for probably another 25 minutes.
Okay. Well, why don't we just plan it for? It's at 2:47 now, so we'll just finish it at 3. How about?
Yeah, that's good.
Another 13 minutes. This is fun. We should do.
It is.
What is today? Wednesday. We could do a Wednesday night stream every night and start making a normal thing if you want.
Yeah, we can do that. Tonight, I obviously didn't have my kids, or it could be Thursday or Friday.
That's true.
Normally, I have them on Wednesdays, but I don't tonight. I will actually have them tomorrow night when I normally don't. Yeah, I'll have them.
We'll figure it out. We'll do it again. I like you. Isn't this fun? Like, you get to hang out with people without hanging out with people.
Because I shared it with all my friends and especially some other friends in group chat. Say, hey, I'm going live with Force Mommy tonight. And like, no way.
I would. Luckily, I couldn't share it on my other account when I had 18,000 followers. Sorry, but
that's all right.
Isn't that so stupid? It's so dumb. I'm like trying to not be upset about it because luckily I've obviously the important people I'm with still and stuff, but
right.
What the fuck?
We'll get back there eventually. It's just Twitter and
it is.
I know when Reed got banned, he had 20-something thousand. And then some other people got banned.
And then you gotta start over. It's just hard to start over because but then it's then you get back with your absolutes kind of because who knows how many of those people are even real people or whatever, Right. Good night, Lead Patriot.
Good night. Lead Patriot.
But I always just laugh. I'm like, why did that's so many people like me? But then I'm like, well, because I fucking say it how it is. That's been my whole thing.
Right.
that video, my pinned video, I can't find it. I don't have it anymore on my phone or anywhere. It's gone now.
Oh no. What was it the video of again?
Where I was I made it in May 2020 where I was oh, there's someone outside with.
Oh yes, I remember that one. Yeah. But the neighbors across the street unmasked with their kids.
Yeah, people walking down the streets, which is sad because that's how we still are now. It's not.
Oh,
it's so messed up. But that video's gone forever.
When I first saw that, I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I'm like, she is joking, right?
But it's it was too real.
People do that. Is she serious?
It was so real that it was. So that's why when you mentioned the whole improv groups, I'm really interested in that because I used to actually. So a long time ago, I used to go to what the fuck is with this user? Block user.
I know.
They keep popping up. 2013, I started going. I knew I had a speech. I have a speech thing, kind of not an impediment, not a. It's just something. It might be because I smoked too much pot in my life, whatever. But so I started going to community college theater classes. Because you have to get up in front of people and talk and it's just such good practice. But now with podcasting, we can just all this is good for me because I have to talk and it helps
talk and then you learn how to talk and interact and there's more with practice.
I would get so tongue tied, I would get so tongue tied, but. So that'd be fun to do the improv things. I love that. I really. Did you ever see a movie called? Okay, first, well, did you ever see a movie called Waiting for Guffman?
No.
I've never seen it. How about Best in Show? Did you ever see that one? It's about dog shows.
No.
Okay, so write this down. Best in Show and Waiting for Guffman. See those movies. And then also write down the actor Chris Lilly from Australia. Oh my fucking God. These people are fucking hilarious. I love improv when people make a character and then they improv. Like, it is the most fucking hilarious thing ever. So
Chris Lilly?
yeah, Lilley. He's from Australia. Yeah, Best in Show is the best. Well, Waiting for Guffman is even better than Best in Show, but Best in Show is like the
Do
most.
you spell Guffman Guffman?
Yes.
Okay. Best in Show. Okay.
Yeah, Waiting for Guffman. And it's actually do you know who Jamie Lee Curtis is?
Yeah.
So her husband's name is Christopher Guest. Did you ever see Spinal Tap by chance? That's another good one. That's another good one. So Spinal Tap. And that's so it's just they just act as normal. They just create these characters that are normal fucking people, but they make them so ridiculous. And these movies are so ridiculous.
Over the top.
And then Chris, so it's mockumentary style. Do you know what I mean by mockumentary?
Yes, I love mockumentaries.
Okay, you will fucking love these. And so there's the ones with Christopher Guest are the Spinal Tap, Waiting for Guffman, and the Best in Show. Those are American, but then the Chris Lilly guy, he's been doing it forever too, but I just found him this year and he's brought me so much joy. But he does the same shit where he even plays a couple girl characters, and he's so funny about it. Like, and it's just like half of it's all improv. Like, it's all he just does it, and then they get the best take. Like, oh, it's just the funniest shit ever.
There was the one. It was a Netflix movie, but I forget what it was called. Where like it was a it was kind of like a not mockumentary, but like an improv mock movie where they did pranks and had like real life situations with people. And the people that were in there that wasn't the actors didn't know what was actually going on. They were just, just there while they were doing these skits, and they turned it into a movie. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
I gotta find the name of that.
I'll watch it. So that Chris Lilly guy has one on Netflix right now called The Lunatics, but these aren't even as funny as those are a couple funny characters on there, but he has this one called Jamie, and he's Australian. I can't even explain it. Your friend Grim or someone Green Reefer put up Summer Heights High. That's like the funniest shit ever.
Okay, yeah. I found the name. It's called Bad Trip.
Bad Trip. Okay, that's on Netflix.
Yep, it's on Netflix. It's got Eric Andre in it.
Okay, I'll watch it. I just love when people can make like normal people look, because we all like, especially on Twitter, we see there's people who are normal, but they're fucking ridiculous as well.
Right.
Like they're ridiculous people, and like I love when people can bring that out acting style. Like, that's hilarious.
Absolutely.
Did you do theater in high school? Bye, Jacob.
I didn't at all. I didn't do any of that kind of stuff, really. No theater and acting, nothing. I was just a boring kid. I did basketball for a little bit, and then that's about it. I kept to myself mostly.
Me too. I always felt like I was just kind of invisible in high school.
Right.
And now I'm hot. Thank God. I'm a late bloomer.
It's really weird. Like, I never thought I was good looking or attractive or anything. And then now that I'm older now, and I'm broken up with my ex, like, apparently people say I'm attractive now, and
yeah, and doing good. You're doing good.
I've got women talking to me, and it's like I've never had that type of attention before. I don't know how to handle it.
You just gotta be like, yeah, that's how I was. Like, once I started because I was in a relationship right out of high school and stuff for a long time, and then I was like, oh, I'm actually kind of like,
yeah, that's good looking, right?
And then I'm getting older, and then like my last 10 years of my life have been great, and I've kind of been able to do the whole like trophy wife thing, but
right.
It's terrible. Sorry, I know boys and girls are different, but whatever. Life is what it is, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, because this girl I'm with now and talking to and everything, she's 4 years younger than me. I'm her first
Ooh.
guy she's been with who's actually older than her.
Ooh. It makes sense. It just makes sense sometimes. Like, it just
Yeah,
makes
I mean
sense.
when I was real young before I got with my ex, I was always after older women myself. So
Just sometimes it like makes sense. Like, I don't know how to say it, but like,
yeah,
Vintage says he's a stay at home. Hell yeah, you gotta go
the
get
home
your
dad working on. There you go, be a trophy husband.
gotta go get your
Absolutely.
tan. I went and got my tan today. I'm gonna go get my nails done
I
tomorrow.
tan pretty
So
well. I never go tanning though, but whenever I tan pretty decent. I need to actually go tanning or something.
it helps. It helps make us happy, and it gives us vitamin D. That's like,
Exactly.
but I always cover my face and I cover
Hmm.
my bits. So like,
Yeah, don't want those getting too tan because they'll
no, we don't need to. They're fine. They can hide. They're good.
right.
All right. Should we call it? We
Uh,
did good.
I'm
Well,
good. I mean, hold on. The girl I'm talking to is want me to. Oh,
yeah, I don't want to keep you from your girlfriend.
well, she might. Well, she might let me come. She lives like like 2 miles from me,
Oh, that's
so
nice.
it's easy to see her. Um,
Vintage, that's good. You know me, I love my forestry work. That's my whole thing. I grew up fucking dragging logs all over the forest. So axe or that shit.
because I'm not.
You don't have your kids, so you might as well go over there, right?
Oh, I bring her here.
Well, yeah, or whatever. However it works.
Right, but yeah, we can keep going for a little bit until at least my food gets
All
here.
right, let's
It'll
do it. If you're
be
good, I'm good.
probably another, or if you don't mind me eating food on the stream.
I'm good. It's only 7:30 here, so whatevs.
Yeah, if I do get her, it won't be till like 9:30, 10 anyway, and it'll be for a few hours. She wants to. I cooked for her last night when she was over last night.
Ooh, what'd you make?
That
Oh,
honey chicken
that's right.
bacon mac or whatever I need to call it or something. But yeah, I made her that. She watched me cook, and she wants to. She dances, and she's pretty good dancing. So she wants to. Next time we hang out, she wants to show me and teach me how to dance a little bit because I don't know how to dance at all.
Dancing's hard. Like I can still not do like actual step. Like I can kind of two-step a little bit, but like when I dance, I just like hippie dance. I'm all like just get in the middle and like
I can't. I can't do any of it. I can't
like you can't feel the
dance.
beat.
I can't. I know the beats pretty well, but I just can't like move my body to it. I can't dance. I can't really sing very well, even though I try to. I've got terrible. Um, I'm tone deaf, I guess you could say, but I try sometimes.
It's all about like just once you feel the music and then you're like, oh yes, good. Like I want to show everyone my muscles because I'm actually really strong. So don't fuck with
You're
me.
probably stronger than me.
Don't not anybody come fuck with me because
I show my muscles and what little muscles I have here.
yeah, but you're a man too. Like men can have like where it doesn't show, but they're still strong. That's like hot to me.
I'm weak. I need to get like actually back to working out regularly, and which I did for like 2 months before the pandemic hit last year, and like it screwed all that up. And then I've just been a lazy piece of shit for the last couple of years when it comes to that.
The last 6 months have been the least working out I've ever been in my life, but
Really, I worked out in high school quite a bit, but
that's me. I've worked out since I was 12 years old, and then 2020 hit, and I'm not allowed to go to. Well, I could have gone to yoga and wear a mask, but I'm not fucking doing that.
do you have like a home gym setup of any kind, or
Yeah, I have equipment at home and stuff. Not a
that's good.
in like.
I don't really have anything. I've got a couple 5 pound, 10
All you
pound
need
weights.
is like a pull-up bar in a bathroom or in a doorway. You need that's like the most important thing in my opinion. So
pull up bar. I got a yoga mat around here somewhere, I think.
yoga's yeah, that's like what I do. I'm just like, well, I do it at home. I wish I could still go hot yoga where you sweat, but I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not getting vaccinated. So I go to fucking hot yoga. Where like for the last 5 years, these bitches told me I'm doing this to keep healthy, and now I need a vaccine. Okay, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But
vaccines keep you healthy. Didn't know that.
it made me so sad. I was hiring a girl who was my favorite teacher. I hired because I'm like I'm not gonna come wear a mask. It's stupid. So I was hiring her privately, cash under the table. And she would come to my house and give me a lesson because it's just easier when someone's like teaching a class, you know. And then she got the vaccine and then she started teaching it. And then she was like, oh, I see her on Instagram. And she's like, oh, this is a vax only class. And I was like, bitch, like
vax only
for yoga, where this is like the whole thing about yoga is like, it's just stupid. I'm going to have to pee if we're going to keep going. We're going.
That's fine. We'll take another hourly break.
Yeah, let's do it. No more beer for me. Post dinner, and I cannot mix. I can't mix booze and weed at all. Like maybe a beer or two, but like right now, if I were to smoke weed, I'd get the spins. So now we're in water and other drugs. I do have my dab rig up here. I could do a dab later if I work this off, but you're back.
Yeah, I was gonna think about toking up once or twice, but
I can't. I was just saying I can't after I've had 4 beers, so I can't mix. I can't mix at that point.
Can't crossfade.
And then I get the spins and like I can do other drugs with beer, but I can't do pot and beer together. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've drank a little bit, so that's probably not the best idea anyway.
But at least you got food on the way.
Yeah. Let's see where it's at. It still says headed for delivery.
We've had at one point we had like 11 people watching, but we're down to 3 right now. So
it's okay.
But people watch afterward. I get comments afterwards all the time. So
that's good.
It's just doing. You just got to do it, and you just got to do it, and then people eventually catch on. I almost have 1,000 followers, so on YouTube.
That's awesome.
That was the most frustrating thing. So I'm like, how do I have 18,000 people on Twitter and only
1,000 on YouTube? And I know lots of people they don't have YouTube accounts They just watch YouTube through. They don't log in.
Right. Which I get. I
don't know how you do that. I don't know how you can keep track of all your videos and playlists of stuff you like watching.
Right, because it like the algorithms do help at some point, but
right. I've got so much stuff on my. I got a lot of music on my YouTube I listen to, as well, like ambiance music and whatnot.
Hi Douglas, I'm still on Twitter. I have a new name. It's the Desert Daddy, by the way.
Desert Daddy.
For now. I'm like, I wonder if I can like switch it to, but I don't want to yet. I was posting pictures of my face, which is probably stupid.
Right. Well, Reed did that. He had Naturalist Cap, and then he eventually just changed it to Reed_Coverdale. He's like, well, they already know it's me, so whatever.
We'll fight it. That's what's so frustrating about what happened to me is like they could just tell me. I could just. I'm just so mad.
Just switch it back. Just switch.
Because I was so tired that night, and I literally have the a censored version of it that I was going to put up. Oh, it's at the Desert Daddy Douglas, but I literally was. I thought I put the censored version up. Like I literally thought I put the censored version up at one point, and I looked in my. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I think my delivery might be here. This is pretty quick. I don't think it is. It just says it is, though. We'll see.
Go get it. It is hard to build a following. Although I'm pretty cool. Like, who doesn't want to follow me? Come on, guys. Like, I can't even believe I built a following at the Desert Day. Yeah, that should be it. I put a face picture up today. Well, he's gone. I'm gonna hit my drugs real quick.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man. Good night. Happy New Year. You too. Happy New Year. That was super quick.
Yeah, David, but I had that other account going for a little bit before. Was that your food? Was that your food?
Yeah.
Wow.
My mic was still on. That was super quick.
That was quick. Good job.
Sorry. Yeah.
What did you get?
I got hold on. I got a double wrapped. That's what I always get. Big boy right here.
All right.
Double wrapped barbacoa burrito with brown rice and black beans and cheese.
Good choice.
That came so fast. Wow.
Is Chipotle close to you?
2.5 miles, 3 miles. Like getting there, like through traffic and getting there from there to here is about 8 minutes or so where I live. But wow, that was 23 minutes ago. That was the fastest. That was the fastest it's ever been. Normally, it's like 30 to 45 minutes.
You know, that's the great thing about modern technology, and we can get food delivered super fast now.
Do you guys? I know you guys like live on land, but like you're not too far from stuff, are you? Can you still get stuff
delivered? I don't technically live on land permanently. I'm in the suburbs right now. But the house I will be at, like where I grew up in, the family property is land, and that land there isn't anything super close to there at all. So, which is fine. You just got to be prepared and keep the pantry full, which is how I grew up. I mean, that's the same house I grew up in and stuff. And it's like, you just were prepared all the time. So. We used to get blizzards and we would be snowed in and whatever. We didn't starve.
Indiana was like that too. We'd get snowed in, have blizzards every now and then, have a week off of school.
Because were you close? Well, you're in Indiana. You grew up suburb of Indianapolis. So does Indianapolis get the lake effect snow?
Not as much, but we do get quite a bit of snow every year.
That's my South Bend family. They like it'll snow
Oh
like
yeah, they'll get
crazy where they
tons of
are.
snow up there.
Yeah, like
Um,
crazy.
Tennessee, you'll get maybe inch to 3, maybe 4 inches a year. About it. 1 or 2 good snows, a couple inches a piece. That's it, and they won't even last very long. Maybe a couple days.
And do people freak out when it happens?
Some do, but most people are like, yeah, it's okay. But they'll shut down schools and stuff. But they kind of have to in some spots, especially because it's not flat. There's so many hills and roads and
And it
curves.
gets
It's more
icier there
dangerous.
too,
Yeah,
probably.
you get a lot more ice too, for sure.
Yeah.
There was a real bad ice
I
storm here a couple years ago.
I used to have to like walk to the fucking my bus stop eventually was at the end of my driveway on the property, but like I was like it would be like a foot of snow. The bus would still be running and it's like, God damn it. Like so stupid. You come too fast. Oh gosh, Post. Oh, he said what he got. Did you hear what he got, Post?
Yeah,
It was a
barbacoa,
barbacoa.
burrito. I'll just take all this stuff off.
Chipotle. I go to Chipotle whenever I have a party. I like to go to Chipotle and get a bunch of the I love their guac.
Oh, they get really good guac.
Yeah, so I'll just like get their guac for the party. Remember 1994, about 4 feet of snow. Where are you at, Vintage? In 1994? That's the fastest that's ever came. Everyone's talking about fast and coming now. Might need to get more gum if we're gonna keep going. I'm a gum whore.
Gum?
Yeah, I just chew gum like crazy.
Oh, I like gum. I like mints too. Altoids. I love Altoids.
Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts border. Oh, okay. Yeah, Colorado's had some pretty good blizzards over the years. We're just shit. It sucks now. And if you're not in the mountains, that's what I hate. The mountains, I mean, get a shit ton, obviously, because that's where they go skiing and whatnot. But I was at my sister's house for Christmas and she had snow, so that was nice.
Right. Well, good. You don't have any snow where you live, do you?
Not right now, no. Commie Central. Well, you're close to New Hampshire, at least, Vintage. Like, you go to New Hampshire Free State Project.
There you go. Yeah, just go to New Hampshire. I know a lot of people talking about going to moving to New Hampshire.
Everyone keeps telling me, and I met so Jeremy Kaufman was out here. His wife has family out here, so they were out here around Thanksgiving. So I got to meet Jeremy Kaufman, and they're like, "Yeah, just move to New Hampshire." Like, my whole thing is, I totally get that, but I love Colorado. I love where I'm like, I'll die defending that area. Like,
right.
That's
I like the whole northeastern New England vibe too. You're pretty close to Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and those places. Maine, Vermont, they're all right there, pretty close.
All right there. I always laugh though, because in New Hampshire, the highest spot in New Hampshire is like 6,000 feet, and I grew up at 7,000 feet. So like, it's just funny how different it is, and the weather there is like crazy on Mount Washington. It's like the snowiest and windiest weather there is ever, but it's still like at a lower elevation than I grew up. Yeah,
because the Northeast gets all that bad snow pretty every winter. Even worse than spots in Colorado, right?
Oh yeah, like it's crazy out there in the East. In Mount Washington, especially, they break all these records all the time. But I just like I love high altitude. I think it's just something about it.
Yeah.
You're always in the Mile High Club here.
Right. Because I live in Indiana, it's pretty low. And whenever we first went down to the Smokies as a kid, climbing up, I think about 5,000-6,000 feet is the highest. Part of this, where that part of the Smokies, like in Appalachia, my ears were popping. I hated it first time.
It's great. It's so funny. It's so funny how that's like high elevation. Because I lived in, like I said, when I lived in Virginia, and I drove through the blue, whatever that parkway is and stuff, and you're like, it feels like you're way up, but like you're technically not really. Like, it's just different.
Yeah, because where I'm at in Tennessee, the elevation is currently about 1,000, 1,100 1,100 feet. So
I'm at like 53 right now.
it's not bad.
300. No, and I grew up at like 65, 7. And you just like it's just high altitude out here, man. Like even just the bake, it's like you have to like redo everything
Do you
and
feel good? Like when you're at lower elevation, do you feel like better, more oxygen, more energized?
more powerful. Yeah, and I have to drink a hell of a lot more at lower elevations too.
Right.
It's funny how that changes. Like I could go to low, like when I'm in Wisconsin, I can drink so much beer and I will not feel any of it. Like it's hilarious. And they have where I go to Wisconsin is really close to Lake Michigan. Is that where Green Bay is on? Is Lake
Yeah,
Michigan?
Green Bay's on Lake Superior though.
Oh, Superior. So
Lake Superior's north of Wisconsin. Lake Michigan's east of Wisconsin.
okay, so we're like north Wisconsin, so we're like kind of on the border of both of the lakes there where I go, and it's just interesting up there too. There's just so much water. You like when you come from
there is.
Colorado, there's no water in Colorado. When you go
Wait,
to
never mind.
Wisconsin,
Green Bay is on Lake Michigan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what it's on, and then the Superior is the one above, right?
Right, the one above it. So you could probably go in that middle ground, sort of in between, and yeah, I'm guessing you've probably been to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan too.
It's like an hour from the Upper Peninsula, yeah.
Okay.
It's so cool there though because it's so green and so beautiful, and like even when you fly out of Green Bay, and it's just like green and lush and beautiful, and then you like land in Colorado and you're like, it's just like brown is dead, everything's like dead. It's just like so funny, like cracks me up how different everything is, but
Yep.
I love the lakes there. I love the mountains and elevation here. It's just kind of like, what do? You know? That's the second bug out spot. So I have a bug out spot here in Colorado, and if it falls here in Colorado, we're going to Wisconsin. So
Think Wisconsin will be better than Colorado?
I don't know if it'll be better, but like it's more Northwoods, Wisconsin, where it's all like
right. Up in the dells and whatnot.
It's rednecky. Like people literally hunt bears from the road up there. Like it's just like super different. And in Colorado, like Tennessee. Oh, go ahead.
So that's why I like Tennessee, because it's a lot like that, and it's kind of a nice mid ground between both of those.
Yeah, I can picture that. Like that's the one thing I like about when we go to Wisconsin. It's like it's just super. It's like it's just super backwoodsy. You can go on these hikes, and there's like nobody there. And out in Colorado, you can't go to any hiking trail, and like the parking lots will be full. You know, like It's just so different.
There's good places around here. Definitely good places up in the further east and the Smokies.
Oh, the Blue Ridge Highway. Yeah, that's what someone said. I gotta go get more gum. Are you cool if I go get more gum?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna eat a little bit.
All right, everybody, watch him eat. Oh, yeah, David said he wants to go camping where a lot of people are not. It's hard out here in Colorado to find a place. But I know of some places, David. Next summer, maybe we should go. Oh, God. I love going camping. My favorite place lately where I've gone camping, and I did it in summer 2020, was there's this nudist hot springs in Colorado that's like so beautiful. You can camp, camp there, and it's really fun. And there's bats. So it's the whole reason there's this hot springs there is because they had dug a mine there, and they like built a town and stuff. Like that's what Colorado's cool. There's a lot of old like mining towns and stuff. And so there was this area where there was this mine, and the mine had collapsed at one point, and so the town is gone, and then all these bats took over the mine. That's it's still a cave kind of. And so there's like 400,000 bats that you can go like hike up, and they like, I have videos of it, and they like fly over your head. It's so fucking cool. It's the coolest shit ever. Like that's pretty cool. Yeah. It is cool. And so then there's this hot springs there where they have like 10 different pools, and it's because they had dug down and found like these thermal areas, but a land trust owns it, and it's technically a family-friendly nudist thing, so it's pretty cool. You can be naked, but then there's also like kids, so it's always like it's a little weird. I mean, obviously you're just being naked, and you're like, whatever, it's fine, but it's a little weird. Like,
yep.
Like, go take your kids to the KOA, not here, but whatever. Whatever.
Right.
I need to post that video. Yeah, there's so many cool places like that in Colorado where there's just, I love it.
Yeah, we get little black bears around here. You know, mountain lions, even bobcats. You know, nothing major around here. We get bats quite a bit too. There's lots of bats around here too. Bats are
cool, man. My brother lives he did live. He just sold his house in Asheville, North Carolina, and you would send a picture of a bear almost every day to the family chat. Like there's so many bears there. It's crazy. The East has a lot of bears.
It does. 100%.
Shit tons, man. Yeah, my brother just did really good on a house sale in Asheville, North Carolina. He's going to he wants to start a camp probably in Georgia now. We'll see what he does, but it's so funny. Like my family is so funny. They're so unlike me.
Right. Yeah, so my sister lives here around me, and then both my brothers live up in Indiana still.
I mean, Indiana's kind of nice. At least the real estate's not. I mean, everything inland kind of went crazy this year too, but at least it's still not super crazy out there. Like,
no, I keep up with people from there a little bit, and it's not too bad.
No, just a lot of people from the coast this year started going in. So like I know South Carolina, because my parents want to buy a place in South Carolina too, and like shit's going super fast there because a lot of people are moving down there, and like
Tennessee, a lot of people moving too as well.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And then Colorado, you would think like when my parents moved to Colorado, it was so cheap. Like it was, no one wanted to live out here, and now it's like you literally have to be rich to move out here. I felt like Barrett, your trash the other day almost got me arrested because I had to shoot at it. Sometimes you have to shoot at them because that's the only thing that'll scare them away. They're so like, they aren't scared of shit anymore, man.
Right. You'll scare them off somehow.
Yeah, there's a ton of hot springs out here in Colorado that you can be nudist at. Even the one in like Steamboat Springs, Strawberry Park, you can go there at night. It's nudist, and then there's a bunch down south like Valley View, and there's one that starts with O. It's so cool. I just love that shit because it's like a fairy forest, and it's the only place in Colorado. Well, there's only a couple places in Colorado where there will be lightning bugs because we don't really have lightning bugs here. But at these hot springs where there's the hotness, there's lightning bugs, and you're like, holy shit! You're like in this middle of this forest naked, and it just is so cool. I love it.
I've never been to a hot spring before. That sounds pretty cool.
It is cool, especially in the mountains, because it's like, and there's these couple ones you like hike up, and you're like literally in the mountain, and there's just like these pools you can just lay in. Like it's super fucking cool. I love it.
They're all over there. I mean, like I've always thought about Colorado and visiting there and what it'd be like to live there.
It's always a great place to visit. It's everything for some reason. Well, because of everything, because it got so busy here. Everyone moved here for a while, and so like everything's just busy. But like, yeah, we have so much cool shit to visit. That's like, there's another hot springs called Mount Princeton, which is not naked at all. It's you have to be clothed, but like,
Mhm.
it's just fucking cool. And it's like you can go up the road from it, and there's a ghost town, and then like. There's just a lot of cool little shit like that I loved.
Right.
You wouldn't be shot, Vintage. Why would you be shot? Are you a big black guy?
It's just a big old bear.
No,
Big
Colorado. If
hairy.
have you ever been to Colorado ever?
No, I have not.
Yeah, it's a great place to visit. Like, if you ever visit, tell me, and I will be. So that's my favorite thing to tell like Twitter people. I'm always like, I love being like a tour guide, kind of, and like showing people shit. It's like my most favorite thing to do. So
That's great. Because you live close to Denver.
yeah, I'm right. I'm actually like I live in a suburb of Denver right now, but I grew up farther out, and we could go stay farther out, or we can go wherever. Like I just
Right.
love it. Like I love it. Estes Park is pretty nice. Estes Park is busy. There's a lot of areas I like that are better, especially with the like politics lately. So the county I grew up definitely went more. The county I grew up in was always kind of Republican and stuff, but this last year they decided to pull away from like a cooperative health department and make their own health department, which was like I was like, yes, awesome, guy. We're decentralizing, like it's great. And I think this county is what it's I'm gonna live there again. I really think it can be a very liberty minded community because it's like we just can. And there's a billionaire that lives there that's a libertarian. So
Nice.
like we can do it. We can do it.
That's great.
No, Colorado, the Democrats are only in the city though. They're only in the city or in the mountain towns, like Vail and Aspen and stuff. The rest of Colorado is like really cool. That's what sucked about Colorado. So like Colorado used to be so live and let live. We have if you are into this, you do this. Everybody can do what they want. And then
Right.
once everyone after pot got legalized, a shit ton of people started moving here, which you wouldn't think potheads would be bossy, but all these people moved here, and then it turned into you need to do what I want you to do, and it's like
Right.
no, we don't, no. Like, and
A lot
then
of potheads are traditionally liberal and left leaning, so it
yeah,
makes sense that happened like that. If a lot of them moved to Colorado.
a lot of shit. So after we legalized from like 2013 to 2018, we had 100,000 people moving here a year. Like
Quite a bit,
it was nuts. And so I got my real estate license in 2015. So it's always been a seller's market. It still is a seller's market. It's like, it's just nuts. It's stupid. And now we have all these homeless, like we have so much more homeless downtown, which is sad. And like,
Yeah, Nashville's starting to get a little bit like that, but it's not really that bad. Probably not unlike Portland or LA or New York or anything, but you're starting to see a little more homeless.
You see it. And like they find an area where they'll go and they'll set up a camp. Yeah, Douglas County post owner, that's where I'm from. Like in Denver, there was like a couple schools where like once they shut down for COVID, then all these people like, and I had a client who had just bought something nearby, and there was like, and it's such a hard situation. That's why like I can't, when people get in on the homeless discussions with Twitter and libertarian, it's like I can't even like I just what do you like? Half the people are feral, half the people are crazy. Some people are maybe could fix their lives and be better, but like it's so hard. Like
What it is, it's a hard thing to tackle as well, and
it's
trying
so
to
hard.
solve that problem.
We have there's a homeless guy that's lived in the town I live in right now, Arvada. And there's even I should share it sometime. They made a movie about him because he used to be this like ping pong. He was a ping pong player as a kid. And then he just went crazy. Like he is feral. Like you cannot offer him, he will like, if you offer him help or like, hey, here's some food, he will hit it from your hand. Like he is a feral human being, but he survives. He's out here survived. I've lived here for 12 years now. He's out survived the whole time in like cold weather, whatever. Like
Right.
he's, it's so, that's what always makes me like, these people are out of their mind crazy with like schizophrenia or whatever, but they know how to survive. Like,
The
and
mental
that's
health, because a lot of them are
better than
suffering from
me.
issues like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and those people don't want help. They don't even like, it's such a hard situation. Then you have just like the transients. Like there's no way to like, and then they say like California spends the most money. California spends a shit ton of money on helping homeless people, but it just goes to pay people's salaries. And they're what do they do? Obviously, like nothing. It's like why would they fix it if they can get paid so much? People don't. Why do you think it's gotten so much worse? I mean, I just feel like it's going to get worse and worse too, as they're making people quit for not having a fucking shot. Like everything is just going to get so much worse.
Right. There's just so much stuff going on that's compounding, that's causing homelessness too. And also people are, with everything going on, they're more, messed up mentally too. And so it's a precursor and whatnot, and you can't get your life together and you end up homeless.
Yep. And it's hard to get a, like, that's why I have a hard time. Like, I love them because they're humans and I have to love them. And they, like I've said, they're better survivors than me because I can't survive on the fucking streets, like,
I couldn't.
Like, what do you do? Like, there is a lot of good groups. There's even a libertarian group out here in Colorado I've donated money to that they're just like going and actually helping. Like that's what the thing is. Like you just have to actually fucking help. It can't be through the city, it can't be through the government paying these motherfuckers to do nothing. Like I have a friend who they still go out and feed them at the park and they don't get a permit for it. Like they just fucking go and do it. Like they don't care, That's what you have to do. I hate that people deny the consequence. Yeah, this and it's scary because more people are going to become violent. There's going to be more when people lose their livelihoods. That's when family annihilators start popping off where they're like, well, I can't, like that happened in 2008 a shit ton when like where they'll kill their whole family and themselves, or not themselves, but and themselves because they can't afford. You've taken their livelihood. I think it's Michael Malice who says like, if you take your livelihood from a man, that's the same as killing him. Like it's,
That's what happened to my family in 2008. My dad lost his business livelihood because of what happened, and it practically killed him and our family.
And it was all the government. It's like all the government fucking did it. Like it was all. Did you ever see the movie The Big Short where they like kind of explained everything? Yeah.
Yep, I've seen that.
Fuck, man. And everyone hates free market capitalism, and it's like, no, just like, just pay attention to what's going on for a minute. Like, yeah, bad shit will happen in a free market too. But when you have when you have this one group who has a monopoly of doing bad shit, like, can't stand it. How you doing? You falling asleep?
No.
Running out of shit to say.
Me or you?
Me. Well, I'm like chatting my ass off right now. But
I'm pretty boring myself, but
you're not boring. People aren't boring. People aren't boring once you get like you just have to get to know people. Get
to know them and open up and start talking. I'm just talking and just eating my burrito still.
Did that affect you? Because you were pretty young in 2008. Did you kind of like?
Yeah, I was 14.
Did you kind of like realize?
I knew what was happening, sort of, but I like the details and just messed everything up. Lost the home, lost everything pretty much, and then I moved out in 2010. I was more or less homeless for about a year, and then
What was your first like? Did you work when you were all young and you moved out?
No, I didn't work at all, really. I worked for my dad a little bit, so just from when I was like 13, 14, helping out up till I was about 16 and everything. When they finally lost everything, and then I was couch surfing and whatnot, being with friends, seeing a family and whatnot for about a year or so. And then after I moved out, and then when I was 17, when I was senior in high school, my girlfriend at the time, her parents liked me so much they moved me in. So finally, I actually had a home, like real home to live in for a little bit. I went off to college after that.
Nice. Did you what was I going to ask? So you stayed in high school that whole time, even though you were homeless?
Yeah. Well, I missed roughly half my junior year.
Okay.
Overall, not consecutive, was like overall, I missed roughly half the days. 180 days is what it was in Indiana that schools needed to be in session for. And excuse me. Talked to my counselor. My grades were decent, even though I was missing so much. And I said, am I still gonna, pass, this junior year and be able to move on and whatnot and everything, even though I've missed so many days? She's like, yeah, as long as your grades are right and you take these finals, you'll be fine. I'm like, all right, cool. I guess that's good for me.
Well, good for you for like sticking with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like knowing that, like, even though you weren't in like your traditional family home or whatever, like you knew to stick with that.
My dad, because my dad dropped out of high school when he was 17. So
it happens. I was homeless for a long time. Yeah, Post, you were homeless for a while. That's the thing. It's harder when you're a boy, especially because, like, it's just easier as a girl to shack up with someone who has a house or whatever. Like,
right.
But then when you're young, like, I don't know. Good for you. You made it.
Man, I'm surprised. When I was a young kid, I didn't think I'd make it to 25, let alone 28.
Here you are.
Yeah.
And you're fine now. And you made babies and like
made babies, fine. Got my own place and everything. Good job card. I'm doing all right, I suppose.
Yep, that's all that matters. Well, I feel like a lot of like my dad didn't graduate college. He was just very blue collar, or you just do what you could do to survive back then,
Right.
But our lives are just so much more expensive now.
They are. They really are.
Cell phones and shit.
It's crazy.
You ended up in Colorado. Why'd you come to Colorado if you were homeless? It's cold here. Look at, everybody, a lot of people have this, or people who are living in their cars. Like I read a story, it was called The Girl's Guide to Homelessness or something, where she like randomly.
A lot of people now living in their cars and stuff.
Yeah. Because it's like your one thing. The story I read, she randomly like got a trailer or something and was like, when you used to be able to stay in the Walmart parking lots, like that's how she survived for a while. Mm-hmm. And you just gotta do what you gotta do. I know I just, my only luck is that it was my age when I moved out. Like everything hadn't gotten so fucking expensive. Like I was able to move out making $12.50 an hour and like
that's pretty good.
Rent a place. But now there's no fucking way, it was just even like 3 or 4 years after 2002. I don't think I would have been able to move out after, especially then when the crash happened and shit. Like, we all survived. Good job for everybody surviving. The thing is, this is rigged. Once you in it, you can't get out. And you guys and staying out of debt is the hugest. Like not owing anybody shit is like a huge.
The only debt I have is on my car and a couple credit cards. That's it for me.
Yeah. Like if you need a credit, like people got credit cards to like buy food to survive. I know, like I remember in like 2004 or 5, I was so fucking broke and I tried to get a credit card and I couldn't. Couldn't get a credit card at that time. They would have given me like $200,000 in school loans, but I couldn't get a credit card to feed myself.
Right, stupid.
But luckily I never got into school debt. I never got into credit card debt. And I bought cars like cash at that point. But
nice.
That's the only reason my man took me in is because I didn't have any debt. COVID, Texas. Yeah, debt is that's the thing. That's why I tell people, I'm like, especially these like girls who want to be like live a traditional lifestyle. I'm like, it's different now. You can't get into that debt because no one can pay it off anymore. Like, it's expensive.
Yeah. Excuse me.
You're good. How's your food?
Great. I'm almost done. What'd you have for dinner? What'd you eat? Or were you about to eat soon?
No, I ate a little before we came on. I made chicken fried rice.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff.
It's always good. Joe Morgan survived out of spite. That's how it's like. I feel like just survive out of spite.
Right.
Because I remember, like, and now all these people who want everything, all their school debt forgiven, which I understand that not everybody understood what they were signing up for, but I'm a dumbass, and I understood that I didn't want the debt. And I was working while these people were in college going out. Like, I was working at the restaurants while they were all going out and stuff. And now they want me to pay. Like, I don't know. I can't deal with it. We're all going to spite thrive, especially at this point with all the COVID shit. We're spite thriving, bitches. Like,
right.
Especially if we're in the winter of death and destruction or whatever. So
death and sorrow or something, Biden said. There's the winter of death and despair for all unvaccinated Americans.
Just the unvaccinated people.
Yeah, only the unvaccinated.
What the fuck? What the fuck, man? How do people say this shit?
People say some really egregious shit.
I can't even believe. Oh, here we go. The unvaccinated, you're looking at a winter of severe illness and death for yourselves and your families, and the hospitals you may soon overwhelm. Like, what the fuck? I've never even been in a hospital for anything, for fuck's sake.
Neither have I. Well, when I had scarlet fever, I did, but like, and said no, I've never really been in the hospital for anything.
Since then, yeah, that's me too. I've been to the ER twice in my life, and that's the only time. And it was for the one time it was for an abscess tooth, which that's not like a big deal. I just needed to get some drugs for that. And then in high school, I was bleeding a lot as a girl. Like, that was the only time I've ever been there. And then, like, I've never been sick or even wanted to go. Invest in firearms. Yeah, firearms are like, that's it right now. That's the only thing keeping us like free.
Right.
I don't know. And so since when I moved out young, I had to pay, because when I moved out young, if you moved out, you weren't allowed to stay on your parents' health insurance. So I was paying my own health insurance at 19. I was paying like $300 a month for health insurance at 19 that I never fucking used ever. So I've paid fucking.
Was that expensive even back then?
Yeah. And I've paid into the system. I paid in the system. I got off of health insurance probably 2010. I haven't paid into health insurance since 2010. But that from 20,000 for 2000 for 10 years, I paid into health insurance, whether it was me or an employer, and I never fucking used it. So every unvaccinated person will kill. Yeah, we're going to kill everybody. I'm so powerful. My tiny titties are so dangerous, and like just existing, like I just feel so powerful lately. That's why I was saying, like, I had a bad 6 months, but now I'm like, fuck it, man. Like, I'm powerful. You don't even have unplug yourself. Yeah, like, just don't even go to, like, why are people going to the hospital if you feel a cold symptom? When did that fucking start?
It's COVID. Like any cold symptoms, it's gotta be COVID. Gotta go to the hospital. Gotta so they can count it, get tested, and then they'll get their free money from the government that they're getting right now for COVID cases.
People have lost their fucking minds. Really, like, they have lost their minds in 2 years.
No, sad to see people you thought were pretty normal or cool or whatever, and losing their minds over it and just going absolutely crazy.
That's what I've said. Like, I have a shit ton of swinger friends who would, like, back in for the last 10 years, they would joke about, yeah, that was me who had strep and gave everybody strep. And then, like, now they're all like bought into everything, all this shit. And like, I'm like, what the hell? Like,
do they have masks on whenever they have their parties?
I'm sure some do. I don't even know anymore because I don't go to any of that shit anymore. I think the club is fine. You don't have to have anything there, but like everything got weird about that too because it used to be this like secretive, cool, like everybody was actually a lot of people were more conservative and right on the right, and then in the last like 2 years right before COVID, everything turned into the whole like, oh, everybody's poly and like the whole left, like just a more left stance on it. You know what I mean? And like they kind of like ruined it for me at least because I like it when it was like more secretive and shit. But
Right.
I don't know.
No, it's like the in thing now.
Yeah, where they were like, you have to accept me. It's like, no, you don't. No one has to accept your shit. You just go do it when you want to do it. Like it's just, it got really. I have friends who like, yeah, it's just people got weird about it. I'm like, you don't have to like make this whole thing about poly. Like if you want to fuck other people, you fuck. Like you just do it. Like it's just whatever. Go imagine going to the hospital with a cold. Yeah, people are going to the hospital with a cold. Like how stupid. I have to be fucking dying to go to the hospital.
Same. If I get sick, especially when I'm sick, I didn't go to the hospital and go to the doctor other than being tested.
So right now I pay for a primary care doctor, which I pay like I pay for it for the year and I could go in anytime I want, but even when like I haven't been sick anyways, but I'm like, I don't even fucking use that. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, the Wayfair cabinets, yeah. Shit. Anyways, what else? You got anything else to say?
I don't know. That's on top of my head. I've just been shooting the shit.
Pretty good. We're almost 4 hours.
I know, right?
I had 4 beers. God damn it.
4 beers. That's good. I
had
had my 2 whiskeys and had my Chipotle. Now my tummy's full.
Then you're gonna be all tired and go to bed, probably, huh?
No, I'm probably gonna if I don't see her now, I'm probably gonna FaceTime her. We've been FaceTiming every night for like 2 or 3 hours for bed.
Or get on your spaces.
Yeah, or get on my spaces.
I'll probably if we jump off here, I'm on Twitter all the time anyways. So if you see a good space, I might listen in. The last time I went in a space so that everyone was like, oh, it's Forest Mommy. I'm like, guys, I'm fucking not like I'm a normal fucking person. Like
or like yeah, if you're like a big name Twitter person or like you're like a podcast or even like it's one of these another podcaster.
Whatever. I'm a normal fucking person. So.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at my phone right now because even though you get on spaces on the website desktop app, you can't actually speak in them unless you use your phone.
It's so easy with the phone.
It is. Yeah, there's one going couple going on right now. I may hop into later if they're still going.
All right.
Be fun.
I might have to just end here just because I'm antsy pantsy.
Want to go into space or something?
Yeah, I have to get up and walk around for a minute.
Right. Yeah, because a couple of them are. One of those is that one of them is a group of people I know, and another one's just a couple friends.
Poster, yeah, that's why I love this. We're just chilling with our Twitter homies. That's all we got to do. So
exactly, that's what I want to do with mine.
Wow, you
with my Twitter homies.
Plug all your things.
I'm just Blaze, or I'm at it's in my thing right there, down right there. Yeah, at Blaze Lolbert on Twitter, and then I'm Actually Blazed podcast on YouTube. I'm also at Actually Blazed on Twitter as well, and then I'm Actually Blaze on Instagram, and that's pretty much it. What I got right now. My handle, not my username, my app, like my name on Twitter is usually changing something Blaze this, something Blaze that. oftentimes too. So it's all my stuff, and then all my friends. Graham was watching, saw him in here. He was excited to see me get on here with you.
Hell yeah. And they can watch this afterwards anytime too.
Yep.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna end it because I gotta go walk around and sit. My man made a fire. I'm gonna go stand by the fire and get up.
That sounds good.
If you find a good space, though, send me a.
Yeah, I'll just DM it to you.
All right, bye everybody. This was super fun. We'll try
See ya,
maybe like this, like a weekly thing. We'll figure out a day that it works. So,
absolutely.
all right, peace out, everybody. Forest Mommy loves you.